Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgates where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait. It's your fate, this is the Fins tailgate. Now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
Good flipping afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. We got a lot to talk about. We got culture. We got Chris Grier saying the quiet part out loud. We're going to find out what that is. Cap is in the back waiting to chop it up with y'all. We're going to drop the link a little shortly. Cap's got a lot to say. He's on the road. Spotty connection, so I'm introing him in. We're going to get him up here. We're going to hear what he's got to say about this whole organization and all the stuff we found out the past week or two. Everybody hit the like button. Make sure you're sharing out. If you're on any other platform besides YouTube, come over here and give us a subscribe and a like on the channel. And hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. We got a whole bunch of you in. John Smith. All right. I ain't even gonna try with these names. I see Ms. Relentless. What's up, Ms. Relentless? Everybody else's name is all still screwed up from YouTube. But I don't know. Chris Grier pretty much telling us what we already knew. So we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna report it like it properly should be. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring the man up himself. No, not that guy. This guy, El Capitan, everybody's favorite.
Hey, I like that you use the spotty connection. I love that part. That was my favorite part of the intro because it's going to be spotty at times. Colors helping hold it down. Link's going to be dropped. I mean, I say drop the link now.
Right. Well, the great thing is I don't have to cut you off because it'll just happen naturally. So I'll just be able to jump in right there, you know.
Exactly. But yeah, go ahead and drop the link now because for the next 2.5 hours or so, we're going to talk about these couple of things.
Right on.
Because look, starting, this college football this weekend, baby, like there's already some games on. You see South Florida quarterback beating up all of Boise. If you haven't seen the highlights, you might want to go check him out. He was doing great.
Right on. Canes are playing on Saturday night or Sunday, I think.
I thought it was Sunday. Someone told me Saturday night. I thought it was Sunday night.
Yep, I got my S box prepared, ready to watch some ACC network.
Yeah, no, it's got to be Sunday night because today's the 29th and it's supposed to be on the 31st. So it's got to be Sunday night, and I can't wait for that. And then next week we're in full on, football week 1 Miami Dolphins versus Colts mode. But on this week off, on this, 53-man roster cuts, crazy stuff that's happened. Micah Parsons gets traded
To the Packers,
from,
I hear. Yeah.
from the Cowboys to the Packers.
That could be
They
a new
get-
Reggie White out there, man. They could, immortalize him.
That is the thing about Packers. And Packers, although it's in Wisconsin, they're a regional fan base. Like all those states around there and west of them all root for the Packers. Kind of like what the Broncos got. The Broncos have like this massive fan base pool. It's not just
And the
Colorado.
Packers are one of those fan bases that love their edge rushers and love their linebackers. You know what I mean? So, like I said, if they, there was Clay Matthews and there was Reggie White before him.
They love they'll immortalize those guys, dude.
Yeah, he'll do really well there. I think that's a good fit.
Well,
he may not like Green Bay as far as living there, but
I promise you this, Color. He loves Green Bay. They gave him $188 million.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot of money. That buys you a lot. That buys you a lot of cheddar cheese, man.
Bro, that could buy you a couple of dairy farms up in friggin' Wisconsin, Color. So that and the Cowboys received 2 first-round picks, and Clark, the he was a former first-round pick in 2016 by the Packers, which I think he's like 30 now or so. Again, Dallas is kind of hyping him up as if he's going to be, their next run stuffing, and he might very well be really good, but that's Micah Parsons. That's the generational talent. That's the type of stuff that we see teams look to avoid. I just want to know, before we get on to our Dolphins topic, is that a good, fair compensation? 2 first-round picks and an aging player? Now here's the part too, along with not having to pay this guy $188 million. That's the part a lot of people are leaving out. They're like, oh, the Cowboys screwed up big time. I'm like, yeah, but they just didn't pay one guy. Right. Micah Parsons is good, but I'm sorry. I'm not looking at J.J. Watt. I'm sorry. If that was J.J. Watt, back when he was, had a cyborg arm and was killing everybody, that'd be different. And I know TJ's really good too, but I think people forget how amazing for like 5 years straight. Like he was good in the beginning and good at the end, but there was like a 5-6 year span where J.J. Watt was the most dominant, dangerous man in the world. And I don't think Micah Parsons that. I think that as far as paying the money goes, they dodged a bullet. And also now, when you look at those 2 first-round picks, you got to imagine the Packers were already a pretty damn good team. Those picks are going to be in the high 20s, right? They're going to be in the playoffs both those years. And God only knows how far they'll go now with a premier pass rusher like that. And I mean, and the Packers drafted a wide receiver this year. This is unlike the Packers. Drafting wide receivers in the first round, going out in free agency and going out and trading for premier talent. They don't really do that. They've really broken the mold this year, the Packers.
Yeah, no doubt. So, question for you, Cap. Are we allowed to officially report that Tua is a placeholder now?
Well, according to Chris Grier, he very well may be. We're going to get on to that. Let's crack this open, Color. Let's table the Chris Grier thing first, and then let's get to this first part here. So there's been some talk this year, and I posed the question: has Mike McDaniel really changed the culture? Or are the inmates still running the asylum in Miami? And by inmates running the asylum, we know what's happening. Players not showing up, players are half in it. Tyreek Hill, with a lot of that, all the fines, all the things we known that promoted this culture change that needed to happen this year. Now, with that, we hear practice what you preach, right? That's old school freaking football. Practice what you preach. Practice makes perfect. All that good stuff, right? Well, I'm sitting here, and as you know, over the last couple of weeks, there's been talk of a higher accountability amongst players, things like that. And then even a couple weeks back, Jordan Brooks says in an interview that this is the hardest, toughest camp he's ever had. And then David Furones just, I want to say it was yesterday, tweets out that there's like 35, 38 players that are back out on the field after practice has ended, doing walkthroughs, doing run-throughs, getting better, trying to get something out of this, right? And it also kind of makes me think about this, Color. Is Mike McDaniel actually changing the culture? Because we have seen a couple of things now actually happen. Number one, confirmed reports of players being more accountable, really buying in, holding each other accountable. They're out there working extra, like that's what it takes. Everyone knows that. But also, we've seen a hell of a lot of people go down with injury this year, Color. But that's also a byproduct of weeding out or breaking down the soft parts and making you hard. Pressure makes diamonds. And the added pressure from Mike McDaniel, a sad byproduct is more injuries. But every athlete would agree that that's part of it. If you're going to work hard, some shit's going to happen. But I'm just wondering, Color, what do you think of this?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm of the thought that if you're out there forcing yourself to change culture and telling people about it and all that, then you don't have the culture. I mean, you just don't.
But we are now seeing actual changes.
Well,
players are there later. There's accountability. They're actually playing tougher, which is a byproduct.
Well, think of it
injuries.
this way, Cap. Think of it this way. I used to hate doing my homework. I don't need it. I think it's stupid. I think for myself, I didn't need it. I didn't need to go home and do a bunch of repetitive writing to learn something and to retain it. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, but I had to do it or I failed. You know what I mean? So I would go through phases where it's like, all right, I would quote unquote change my culture and do my homework diligently. And I'd keep that up for a couple months. You know what I mean? But just like the scorpion and the frog, I am what I am, and I hate doing homework. So it doesn't matter if I tell everybody, hey, I'm changing my culture. I'm going to be doing my homework every day and blah, blah. It does nothing for me, first of all. And secondly, I can say that all I want. But a month later, I'm going to be who I am.
But there is, okay, Color, this is a very highly intelligent conversation we're having, which I'm glad to have, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't like homework either. So, but I understood the things from being an athlete, and you as an athlete will understand this too. Discipline will trump all of those things.
Well, true, but what I was really getting at was that when I went a month doing my homework diligently, my parents didn't say good for you. That was what was expected of me to begin with. They didn't say, oh, he changed his culture. He's different now. They didn't say none of that, because that was what was expected of me.
So you're commenting on the expectation that if you, well, okay, now I get you.
Well, like you pointed out all the stuff that the guys are doing.
Yeah.
Like every other team's been doing that since the beginning of football. Like, why?
Every team that wins the Super Bowl is a team that they didn't have to change culture to do that.
I'm pretty sure that every one of these athletes that are changing their culture knew what they had to do last year. They knew what they had to do the year before. Just like I always knew I had to do my homework.
Damn, Color. It's hard to argue with that. But I will say, as far as practicing and the preaching with Mike McDaniel, he did say change is coming, and we do see changes here. Like I got that. Yes,
maybe that's what we're maybe that's what we're sussing out here is who is actually changing their culture. This is a culture change by Mike McDaniel. This is a personal culture change by him. That's what that's what this is. Let's be real.
So he's now finally
Holding
meeting
players
up to the
accountable.
expectation.
The reason the players are coming in and doing their duties is because they're being held accountable. Maybe I'm not in the building, so I don't. But my point is, if that's what's going on, that's a change by Mike McDaniel, solely by Mike McDaniel.
Well, then, and also when we look on the flip side, and I mentioned this a little earlier, is that we've seen tougher practices, guys getting banged up a little bit easier. A lot more is physically demanded from people as well.
You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt, Cap. But you know what? It just occurred to me.
Interrupt away.
This could be, this could be a very well, like, this could be, the side effect of having a guy like Anthony Weaver in the building.
Oh,
because Mike McDaniel can actually see, hey, there is a way to be hard on the guys, but yet still maintain respect. And Anthony Weaver is probably the kind of guy that knows how to get guys going. Like when we talk about Flores and you can't talk to people that way and all that. Well, apparently Weaver is probably, I don't know, maybe McDaniel is seeing how a guy like Weaver can push guys without being disrespectful and being an asshole, for lack of a better word. And so he's seeing that, yes, it is possible to hold guys accountable without being a dick.
Well, I mean, because
McDaniel is adverse to being a dick. It's not in his nature. You know what I mean? It's probably hard for him to kind of push guys because he probably feels like he's being a dick. And now he can see an example of a guy like Weaver who can get the most out of guys without being a dick, even though it may seem like he's being hard. Like telling somebody to go run laps is different than saying, hey, dickhead, go run laps. You know what I mean? As far as consequences,
I don't know. I always felt like the best
coaches, you know what I mean?
I always felt like the best coaches did it publicly in front of the team. And then also, when that doesn't work, you then punish the team for the player that you want to punish his failures, and the team is then going to hold them accountable.
The team, right? Just like in Full Metal Jacket, the platoon went in there and beat him with socks. You know what I mean? Because he had a jelly donut. Right.
Yes.
Real quick, Head Dolphins putting it right where I'm trying to say it. Coach Weaver can relate to the players because he played the game. Yeah, that's how you can know how to push guys and still be respectful. Now, and I'm not saying that's a bad, like every coach has to have that. Not every coach played the game like that kind of played the game, But if McDaniel can learn, can observe and change himself, and we can see that, and we can, and that's evident if it is, like down the road, then that's credit to McDaniel for being able. That's also what makes somebody a good leader is learning to do things better.
Gotta change. Yeah,
not being afraid to learn still, you know what I mean, and whatever else. That's wisdom.
I mean, that's the best coaches right there. If you're gonna,
so we'll see how it plays out. You know what I mean?
So, all right then. To that, I'm gonna give you a little pushback on he's learning it from Weaver, because he's got to have seen that out of Kyle Shanahan, that exact towing of the line.
You would think he's been in the league with several.
I know Kyle Shanahan's a little bit more stoic than Mike McDaniel, but he has to have seen the tougher, more accountable side, right? He's got to.
Well, I mean, Atlanta had a pretty decent defense in that debacle,
Yeah, that's true.
So he's obviously seen other coaches be hard on the
Dan
guys.
Quinn. Yeah, Dan Quinn. I wonder what he could have learned observing that. I don't know. Again, all right then. Well,
Well,
I
again,
guess
I didn't say I believed any of the nonsense I just said. I'm just saying we'll see if that's the case going forward. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, now there is something to say that it's he's still a young guy and a young coach in a highly demanding position with a hell of a lot of pressure, and then you can also still finding your voice. I think he's found his voice as what he wants to be, but there's still parts of to be what you want to
It's
be.
all that ranging, that's ranging.
Well, that's ranging, but you got to say to be what I want to be, I have to have hard drawn lines on shit that will change me being what I want to be, right? Like if I want to be a type of player, head coach, and stuff like that, well, I want to act this way. You can't do this shit, and I got to have a hard line on it because that prevents me from doing what I need to do. He's got to. He's got to have.
It reminds me of Marshall White in Tombstone when Curly Bill was out shooting at the moon, right?
Yeah.
And they're all inside the bar, and they're like, "You're gonna do something about that?" And they're like, "This and that," and then and Marshall White's like, "Yeah, I guess I better go do something about it." You know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
that's what it seems like. Like the guys, McDaniel, the players, everybody's sitting around partying for the last 5 years, and finally they all woke up and said, "Yeah, I guess we should finally go do something." You know what I mean?
Like, probably got to stop the mayhem in the streets. That's kind of what we're getting paid to do. I don't know. It's just an interesting type of thing. I just wonder, and at least the positive points of it. Like, if Mike McDaniel is and was and trying to become something other than who he was in 2024, right? Aside from player personnel and scheme, but about the things that he wants to change. Players getting injured, you could take. There's two sides to the coin. You go, these guys are soft, or you can take, well, maybe they're just practicing really a lot harder, and then to kind of argue with the second part of that take is these guys are now, it's been confirmed, they have been staying after and getting in the extra work and extra hours that the NFL has mandated NFL programs cannot do. So the players are holding themselves accountable, putting their personal lives and their personal desires on hold, and most of them are staying and as a team working on things. And so at the minimum, Mike McDaniel has gotten these results. One really good with the players being accountable, one really bad with the players, getting a little bit more injured. So I guess we could say what promises he has made and talked about doing has happened in that aspect. Where will it benefit us in the win column? Yet to be seen, because meanwhile, Color, all of these things that are happening with the team, Chris Grier comes out after to do his mandatory after 53-man roster cut. Plus, they signed a player too. He wants to always talk about what he's done. He comes and says the quiet part out loud. Now, I remember we talked a lot about this at the end of 2024, all through Super Bowl, all through, pre-draft. We coined the phrase soft rebuild. We've coined the phrase soft rebuild.
And we were called fools, and we don't know.
We were called haters. Yep.
If you don't realize we're on a Super Bowl run, you're a complete moron with a brand new head coach. Yeah, sure. That's ever happened in the world,
It's what has been continued to be said about us that it's always been our curse, Color.
Now the build can actually start.
Yeah, well, because this is Chris Grier has blatantly admitted that this is a cap reset year. We are going to shed talent, not purchase more, and forcibly go young in areas of the football team we hope to mitigate
Yeah, we
the
used
least
to call
amount of
it
liability.
before we got docked a draft pick. We used to call it tanking,
Well, I wouldn't call this tanking. It's a soft reset. That's what we've
bro.
said. Uh-oh. You think this is tanking? Then why extend Zach Sealer?
Hey, ask me that question at the bye.
All right.
Because maybe Zach Sealer is willing to go through it because the guy is a stoic kind of dude.
Color, who's backstage? I heard a pop.
Oh, that's Kenna, bro. I was gonna bring him up real quick, man.
Bring his ass on up
He's
here.
always got good stuff to say. What's up, Kenna?
What's popping? What's popping, everyone?
What up,
Wow,
Kenna?
you're like one of the smooth characters, bro. Love talking to you, man.
Yeah, fucking I love having Kenna up here.
Man, this
So,
shit is
what's up, Kenna? What's good?
that I was wondering when everybody was gonna start talking about Chris Grier again. Like that reset button phrase was too alarming. I just say go ahead and have a fire sale now while you can get the highest value for everybody you can, and just go ahead and make this soft rebuild or reset button worth it.
But that's the argument to like it is a soft because okay, fine. If you were gonna reset and purge, why extend Zach Sealer at all? If you were gonna reset and purge, why
Cover,
aren't
Cap.
we? Why
Cover.
why aren't
It's
we?
cover.
Why are we
It's
not?
cover. We just got docked a draft pick for tanking, bro. It's cover.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Nobody.
Cover,
No,
but you
real quick,
can
Kenna,
still sell your assets.
No, hold on. But Cap, nobody in the league can accuse Miami of tanking when they just paid Zach Sealer.
So
It's cover.
I feel like the reason why we kept Zach Sealer and it's still a rebuild year is like Cutler said. Zach Sealer is one of those characters or one of those personalities type of people that you want to keep around the organization.
Yeah, he's a cornerstone guy.
Core player. Yep.
So
He's a core player. That's a guy you can tank with and rebuild with.
And let's be real, nobody else was going to give him the franchise money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So he's willing to go through it. So while you got Zach, while you got Minka, while you got Chop, cornerstone players, well, as far as the contracts go ahead, have a fire sale with everybody that's injury prone, get what you can for them, bring in your new players, and go ahead and reset the culture the way you're trying to reset the culture with players that's going to abide by the rules or come out and hustle and play hard.
Exactly, Kenna, because what can a new guy in the building say to McDaniel as far as his coaching style? You know what I mean? You got to put up or shut up. You know what I mean?
And as far as Mike McDaniel, you know, TD pointed it out last night or yesterday or whatever. Didn't we cook Weaver in Baltimore when Tua threw those 6 touchdowns?
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Mike McDaniel scheme cook
I know
Weaver?
Crypto did. I know Crypto in particular has stood on 10 toes saying that game was because of the failure of the Ravens secondary.
It was. But what I'm pointing out is Weaver still didn't get on top of the scheme. Like even if he did have, you know, young players back there that Weaver knew the scheme, he would have still been in the position to stop it, even with younger players, because you ain't doing nothing but plugging and playing. I feel like Weaver didn't know the scheme. McDaniel cooked him. We brought him over here. You know, I mean, McDaniel been proving his point low key.
Well, okay. Now, to be fair, this scheme that Weaver's running exactly does get cooked by timing quarterbacks that can get it in the second level in short order with spacing timing routes. Okay. That's a fact because
So you just
you can have
pointed
the
out
best.
we in trouble week 1, right? You just pointed out we in trouble week 1.
We're going to be in trouble against Mac Jones or Daniel Jones.
Ain't that the type of quarterback he is, though?
No, he is terrible. That guy is his windup. It takes the whole second to throw a football. So to me, if we're being real, Weaver getting a chance to go against Mike McDaniel's offense is only going to sharpen where he needs to sharpen the points with his front seven. If they're smart, if they're doing it right, that secondary can and will get exposed plenty. I'm not so worried about that by and large because let's face it, very few of them that are.
Hit a dead spot.
There's plenty of them in this
You're
game.
gonna have to repeat that in a second, Cap.
Can you
Once
hear
you
me?
get your connections back. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so there's plenty of teams out in the NFL running this scheme. There's very few of the teams that are running it very well. You know, it's just the facts. A lot of teams run this West Coast, but the timing, like fast pace, under 2.5 seconds throwing the ball, offense, not very many teams are doing it well. They're struggling with it. They all want to do it, but Miami probably one of the better ones getting it done. San Francisco, another one, obviously. My overall arching point is that Chris Grier is saying the quiet part out loud. And I'm going to buy into the fact that, okay, you guys are right. This is a tank year. Then why haven't they sold any of these assets?
Because he afraid of the backlash.
There's going to be no backlash if you trade everything.
They got to provide. They got to have a certain amount of cover, Cap.
But
Because
teams,
we've already.
okay, hold on now. The fan base collectively, well, by and large, not me, but a lot of them wanted Tyreek Hill shipped up out of here.
Okay,
And they would have been happy to sell him.
I'm about to bring up another name that everybody get on my head for. What about letting A-Chain go right now?
I mean, if you can get value for it, I understand that point. But the fans that don't want to tank, right? They have no desire to tank at all.
No, I'm not talking about providing cover to the fans. I'm talking about providing cover to the league. Nobody can say we're tanking. Nobody can dock us a draft pick if we keep Tyreek Hill and Zach Sealer on the roster.
There's nothing in the rule book saying you can't fire sale and trade away your talent.
Right.
No, but after we just got found guilty, and fined for tanking, the burden of proof is not very high.
But
you know what I mean?
But Cutler, his cover is the one thing that he don't want to admit, and his cover would be, we built around Tua the wrong way.
Right. That's the other thing. He would have to admit to that, Cap. He would have to say, if we fire sold right now and did a proper tank, and it was obvious, then yeah, he would have to. He would be openly admitting to a failure at quarterback.
I don't know.
But in so many ways, he's still saying that in so many ways. Though it's just that who's able to see through it and who's not. Because a soft rebuild, like, come on, bro. At this point in year 6,
yeah, soft rebuild to what? To have the same quarterback?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, then what are they going to do with Tua? They're going to cut him, or are they going to try to trade him?
Well, I don't know.
It would have to be at the end of the year.
Seems like Grier coming out and admitting to a soft reset basically kind of provides protection for Tua. Because now nobody can be like, everybody's going to be, when he sucks this year, everybody's going to be like, well, what did you expect? Look at what Josh Rosen, all of a sudden, everybody's going to have sympathy for Josh Rosen again.
Or could it be protection for him and McDaniel?
That's what I'm saying. But nobody's going to treat them like they did Josh Rosen in Flores's tank year.
Well, that was another point I have. What kind of realistic expectations is Chris Grier putting on a team that he has self-admitted in public?
Exactly.
So what are the real expectations?
But again, Cap, we were clear we were tanking in Flores's first year, yet people still held Josh Rosen accountable.
I mean, yeah, because you hold people accountable. I mean, and listen,
what, throwing to a bunch of garbage?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Well, here's the thing too, right?
Did we have an offensive line all of a sudden in Flores's first year for Rosen to
who was the wide receivers? That's the question. Lynn Bowden Jr. was that the year he played?
Yeah. Well, how about the offensive line that we've been trying to build for 30 years that we didn't have built then either?
We don't have built now.
That's
We
what I'm
still don't
saying.
have it
And
figured out.
that's the number one going excuse for Tua's failures is our offensive line. It's not like we had an offensive line in Flores' tank year and then got bad. We were rocking Jesse Davis.
Who the fans love to hate, Color. Old lunch pail Jesse, as I like to call him. Old lunch pail Jesse comes in to get beat up on the line and beat up in the papers.
Unless you think we should go search for Tankersley and bring him home.
You be
Hey,
bringing up some
Tankersley's
crazy
back.
ass names, yo.
Oh yeah, I didn't even. No pun intended.
Oh, no pun intended. Damn.
That's
Tankersley
one way to know
tanking.
if you're tanking if you've got
Oh,
Tankersley on your team.
shit. Color, you're right. Don't we have Cordell Tankersley? Didn't we bring him back in here? Isn't he part of our secondary right now?
Yeah, and he failed again, I think. Yeah. No, it wasn't him. It was another dude that's like him. I think it was the other dude that's like him.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Cordell, boy, he, man, yo, like he can get shit still.
I mean, Bobby McCain, he's out there. You know, let's have a big old reunion.
I mean, Bobby McCain, now he was all right when they moved him to safety. When they moved him to safety, he was all right. Wouldn't hang your hat on him, but he improved.
I love Bobby McCain.
Maybe we can rock some more Duke Riley, bro. You know?
Nah,
Riley's a free agent right now.
And I like Riley. I don't mean to offend him, bro, but let's be real. You know?
I got sick of him. Almost like I'm about done with KJ. He played too fat-footed for me.
You mean Britt? KJ Britt?
Yeah, he played too flat-footed.
I thought he was a wide receiver. Oh, that's Kenny Britt. That's right.
Yeah, KJ Britt is he's just a true run stuffing meat point of attack in between the tackles, run stopping middle linebacker. That's all he is.
Yo, and the other thing, bro, in the tank year, when we started winning, bro, how good did it feel that we were winning with such trash, dude? Because that's how you know you actually got a good staff. That's how you know you're getting there.
Yeah.
Flores didn't want to win, didn't want to lose that game against the Bengals that year, man. Like he had coached his ass off that game, yo.
Yeah.
And for us to come back and be in position to win that game, and we do, like people was looking at that game in the wrong aspects.
Yeah, you had a guy that everybody faults for winning 5 games in a tank year when he proved that he could win with garbage. So when he turns around and says, yo, Tua's not the guy, why didn't we believe him?
Yeah, he knows what the guy looks like and doesn't look like.
He just got through winning 5 games in a tank year with garbage. I'm pretty sure he knew what he was looking at when Tua got in the building.
And you want to know what's crazy about this whole ordeal is the fact that we had Mike McDaniel come back on a Rich Eisen show and say practice doesn't start for Tua until Tua gets pissed off. What is the irony of that shit right there?
It's such a gimmick, bro. It's unreal, man.
Oh man,
I'm really mad now.
You're right. Like you had a head coach that really got up under his damn skin to show his true character, and then you turn around and go get the yes man to tell you, well, he's only going to get better when he gets mad.
The fucking irony. The irony.
Yeah, like that crazy.
Hit the like button, everybody.
Cap, that was something I used to say when when I was 7 years old at the roller skating rink after I just got done eating a freeze pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm mad now. I'm going to beat everybody out on the rink.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You're going to Incredible Hulk.
But I was 7, bro. Like you would expect that out of a 7-year-old.
Well, when my kid was 7, the Hulk was real big, and he would have those Hulk cans and Hulk smash. He'd be breaking shit all on
Man,
around the house.
they didn't have those when we were kids, bro. They had so much
But
better toys in the 90s, man. God, we missed out, bro.
yeah, that's
Yeah, the Iron Man
When they
face.
started adding fuzzy
Man,
electronics to toys, bro,
yeah, I
we
had
totally missed out, man.
too, man. I'm trying to tell you that shit was crazy. It was
yeah,
fun. Though. Got to punch him in the face and they had some protection.
Right, right.
yeah,
It was a way for brothers to like beat each other up without hurting
yeah.
each other.
The rock 'em, stock 'em, or no, the blow up things on your hands.
Yeah,
Right, right.
Punch
Just themed,
somebody and
just Hulk themed. Right, right.
yeah, yeah.
And
Just Hulk.
didn't they have little speaker boxes in them to make sounds when you hit shit?
Oh, I don't know about that one. That sounds like somebody getting hit with some batteries.
That might be the second model that came out. They had like, you know, you hit something and it would
I
crash.
do know. I do think about this a lot, and it's
Glass
remember.
lightsabers, bro.
Do you remember the light up glow in the dark Nerf footballs that
oh,
they
yeah.
used to have,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it had that 4D batteries that you had to unscrew on the side and put into it. The thing they don't tell you about the Nerf football, it's okay to throw around while it's still some light, but as soon as it went dark, that you couldn't judge how far it was, and it always hit you right in the fucking face.
Right on the battery side too,
Yeah.
right?
Color, put me backstage real quick.
Do what?
Put me backstage.
Okay, gotcha.
right.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. What was he just talking about? The
irony of Tua having to be mad to have
oh yeah.
that type of head coach. Like, I mean, you know, I just feel like Grier just basically said we're gonna have trouble this season, like everybody been saying.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it just I don't know, bro. It seems like our culture has been the culture of like the Zoomers, bro. You know, like Gen Z or whatever they call them, Gen Y or whatever they call them. It's like everybody's like a perpetual kid forever. We never got out of our, you know, bedrooms or something in summer when we're, you know, playing Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't get it, man. You got 40-year-old kids walking around this place, dude.
I mean that just comes from the organization not putting real leaders in position to be leaders, man. It's crazy how you can have a head coach on this squad, but your head coach, like it's like what Weaver was saying on one of them podcasts he was on in the interview. He was talking about how he look at the players as like part of his kids. He get to see them grow and develop, and you know he get a satisfaction out of, you know, players, you know, getting better, growing and developing and whatnot. And I just don't understand how Miami ain't never put a person that is invested like that in these players in position of leadership. I mean, we had one, but you know, they had so many.
Well,
He can't
I
do.
was listening, you know, Ken, I was listening to this college professor from Penn State, and the guy was telling the person that was interviewing him that when he's talking, because he does these big lectures and he's kind of become real popular, and he broadcasts them on YouTube and stuff like that, right? And you know, he's got a real good method of discourse that's kind of like, you know, it's saved him from being canceled so far, you know, because you can't teach kids reality anymore because they get offended by it and they'll go complain to the administrators of the school. You know what I mean? And he was saying that he cannot even correct people anymore. Like he has to find ways to correct them without them knowing they're being corrected. Otherwise, they will complain that they were made to feel stupid, or other classmates will actually stand up and go report that he belittled that classmate. You know what I mean? An example being, you know, if one of his kids had mentioned that Africa was a country, and it's not. It's a continent. You know what I mean? It's a continent made up of several countries, right? And that's just geographic fact. It's not anything, has nothing to do with who wrote the history or anything like that. But he can't. When somebody had said that Africa was a country, he was not able to correct them directly,
right?
Because that would have been
Oh,
taken
yeah.
offense.
It's like you can't help them learn a lesson.
Right. And that's the product that we're putting out of these colleges these days. And yes, that includes Tua's class.
Yep. So who is that dude that who is he? Isaiah that do the Miami Herald with
Yeah, Isaiah Small.
Yeah. So he said something that it kind of made a lot of sense to me. And his words were, having a winning season is like a participation trophy. Like he's an Eagles fan. Do you hear he expect his team to be in the playoffs and win at least one playoff game is what he's saying.
But these aren't kids anymore either, bro. These are fucking working class adults that are paid handsomely. I need results, bro. Color, who's in the back?
Right.
Yeah.
We got Roberto.
Like that.
Bring Roberto ass up here.
Like, it's just for us to sit here and be okay with winning seasons just lets you know how much poverty you really in.
Right.
I mean, there's something to say about measuring of successes with realistic expectations, right? But
well, we're one step away from the Tennessees of the world who literally don't care about winning.
Well, they got Cam Ward. I promise you, they care about winning now.
No, I mean their fans don't care. If they go 9-8 for the rest of time, their fans would be still just as happy as they are.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Because nothing happened. Like, there's nobody aspires for anything great in Tennessee, dude, except for country music.
I was gonna say, what about Nashville, bro? I mean, that's all like country stars. And there's like that's their own little aspirational hub.
Like, well, again, they're happy. They saw what happened to St. Louis. They're happy enough to have an NFL franchise in their small little town. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's been popping in that area now. It's
Yeah,
big
but
as
there
hell
can't
now.
be more. See, did you know that St. Louis proper only has a population of 500,000?
Yeah, that's
St.
why they
Louis.
don't got them. Well, and
Now,
the whole
Greater
city's
St.
dying.
Louis, like Greater St. Louis County has like over 1 million people, but you know, the city itself, downtown proper, has only got 500,000 people.
St. Louis, the city, is dying. I saw a thing about it the other day. Like, it's literally a dying city in America right now. So, let's double back to Chris Grier because he said the quiet part out loud, and the quiet part is essentially this is a reset. We're not doing what we usually do, buying this. We're not, we can't. It's not time to sell out future years for the team we currently possess. And that's not really, that's kind of a new thing. You either pull the plug or you buy and try to be successful this year because everything's really in a 1 year sample size.
But
so what does that exactly mean?
Do you
They're trying to hedge though, no? Because
if we just go ahead and have a fire sale, do y'all understand how quick we can turn it around? Like just
as quick as we did from 2007 to 2008.
Yeah,
right, but they're trying to hedge.
What do you mean they're trying to hedge, Roberto?
So if we get by the trade deadline and like we're clearly not good, like that's when the fire sale is going to start. They're trying to see if they can believe in their own excuse of the injuries for the downfall last year.
Or catch a whole thunderstorm in a bottle is what they're trying to do.
Like maybe Josh Allen gets hurt or something, right? Or something crazy happens, and then you could go.
Or maybe like all of our draft class and half of our draft class from last year turn out to be superstars all of a sudden.
Okay, we're trying to catch an anomaly.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, they used to say
like
lightning they would say lightning in a bottle, but it's more like we're trying to catch a thunderstorm in a bucket.
Roberto, I like this. I like this argument that they're hedging their bets, and that might be the more realistic of the options, right? They're like, listen, something happens, we Gucci, right? Josh Allen goes down. There's a clear path to winning the East. And you know,
What was it? Hey, didn't I already have that take cap early, like before the right after the season ended? Somebody said, "Well, what do you expect for next?" Well, if every single team plane crash, God forbid, not wishing that on
well,
anybody,
here's
but
well,
if everybody's team bus crashed or team plane crashed, then yeah, Dolphins have a shot this year.
well, but hold on. What about with these words spoken true by Chris Grier? Have the Miami Dolphins are the players turning into the Cleveland Indians in the movie Major League? Are they like it's us versus them? They're counting us out. We're gonna. They got
No, I think
fucking
it's more like that
Wild
other
Thing.
movie. I think that's more like that other movie with Dennis Quaid. I think it is.
But they got Wild Thing coming out at the plate too. He's gonna throw
Wild
heat.
Thing.
Oh,
He's
and
gonna.
another thing I want to
No,
bring.
it's more like if you remember that old HBO show, First and 10. It's more like that.
Another thing I want to bring up. Did y'all not hear that we have a basketball goal in the locker room now?
What?
Are they?
Oh, you know what? I bet you.
Is Tua throwing footballs
It's
at
a
it?
little kids thing. It's a little kids one.
Is Tua using it for target practice?
Like that's crazy. You're gonna get rid of a ping pong table just to bring a basketball goal? Like,
No, it's like one of those little ones where like a toddler dunks on. You know what I mean? I think I read it was that they added like kids stuff to the facility.
it's crazy the shit that you know what I'm saying. Okay, they talk about
Damn.
why it was brought in because of the camaraderie and the closeness, the bond, and you know when players have a sense of closeness with one another, they play harder for each other. Which
Nah, fuck all that bullshit. All that soft lovey-dovey bullshit.
I mean, it is understandable. I do get it in a sense, but at the same time, it's like, you know, wasn't we already trying to do that when we brought Tyreek in the first year?
Yeah. Well, here's the diabolical part. What according to Roberto is they take away the ping pong table and Chris Greer, the fucking menace, puts in baby toys. He's got a little tiny little Fisher Price dunk fucking thing and a couple of other like they got a little Fisher Price kitchen over there and treating them like babies.
Oh,
They acting like babies. That's
so y'all can't be grown.
that's some next level trolling.
Got to treat y'all like babies now. Oh man, that's doom and gloom for this season, yo. That's doom and gloom.
It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah,
But you know, it's when everybody makes millions, what do they care? What do any of these people care? What we, you know, whether we're enjoying ourselves this season or not.
yeah. Like I get millions to do this. What do you know?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I hate to be so materialistic, but when everybody's getting under your skin and you know whatever else, it's very easy to just go out in the middle of nowhere and get away from it all when you got millions of dollars. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People act like, you know, money don't cure anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't cure all, but it cures some stuff.
It's an asset to get you in a peaceful area.
Right. I mean, it doesn't buy happiness, but it sure does freaking help.
Yeah.
That's like that whole LeBron and those guys going to like the Bahamas and the banana boat stuff all the time in the off season. Like they're just getting out of Dodge.
Yeah. Or just like, hey, I want to go out to like Jackson Hole or something. You know, the Palm Beach of the Northwest. You know, it's like go visit Yellowstone or something. And it's like, I don't know. There's plenty you can do when everybody's getting under, you know, getting at you. It's like, I don't know, who are these people? I'm gonna go get, you know, go out to the middle of nowhere.
I mean, we could easily just put ourselves in position to grab the top quarterback for next year. You know,
I mean, money wouldn't matter if plane tickets were free.
True.
Yeah, it's hard to put ourselves in a position to completely bottom out this year.
Nah,
if you're gonna play Tua anyways.
Ain't necessarily bottom out. It's more of, you know what I'm saying, just make, you know.
What's up, Aqua? Aqua says color TMZ will still find you. Yeah, you're probably right.
It's just making key trades that, that can grant you enough draft picks to where you can package it all up in the trade.
I mean, the writing was on the wall that they were heading towards like a financial reset, right? Because if they really wanted to add to this team, they would have restructured Tua, but that would have locked them in for further years, right? So they avoided doing that. But then at the same time, like, I don't know why the GM of the team right before the season starts would come out and like admit this.
Well, it's the good question. We titled this part of the show, part of it, Chris Grier says the quiet part out loud. Was that a case of saying the quiet part out loud accidentally, or was that, planting a seed of some kind?
I just think like the whole organization currently is like incompetent. Like even I got an email yesterday about the new rivalry jerseys for like season ticket holders. They're like, oh, get first in line to buy them, and it's on a Wednesday at like 10 to 11 in the morning. Like, who the hell is going to that?
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we just so happen to finally get an alternative jersey that everybody's been screaming for. What's next? What has Stephen Ross got the ace in his pocket for when we really have to tank? Like next year, he's going to pull out we're going back to the old logo. I mean, it's like planned obsolescence, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't doing nothing but feeding off of what we really crave for anyway. We been wanting alternate jerseys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wanting that. So he ain't doing nothing.
And besides, the other thing is, who's our rival? Who do we rival?
I mean,
they're wearing them versus the Jets, so that's who's tagged for us this year.
I mean, we struggle. We get out to a slow start, couple scores down against the likes of the Giants, the Panthers, Detroit before they turned everything around. Who's our rival? The Giants? Is that our rival?
I feel you.
I mean,
don't no team really want to beat our ass. Like,
I mean, I hate to agree with Michael K, but losing teams don't have rivals.
Yeah.
Who's your rival? A rival means that you're like respected equal enemies.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Somebody want to beat your ass,
or at least you both believe you're equal and have, traded blows. All we've done is gotten beat down by them.
By the Bills, yeah.
Well, if you want to go with the best team in our division, I don't really care to be a rival of the Jets. I mean, maybe the Jets fans and Dolphin fans are rivals. Okay, fine. That actually makes sense because we're both fighting to be the worst.
Yeah, we definitely been fighting for the bottom for a minute now.
Like our fans are literally fighting to be bad. Oh, well, watch this, Jets fans. I'll run a campaign begging Chris Grier to draft a 4 foot tall whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
this shit be crazy, boy. He came out and said that, and then to get up there and hear, Darren Waller finally speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, it even sound like he ain't really ready.
Oh man, did you see the photo of him that was going around of him like on the sideline of that preseason game?
Yeah.
He looked like he just did not want to be there. Like, it's crazy.
So, Roberto, what do you think about our first topic we talked about since you just came up? The culture change. I mean, I guess just give us synopsis on what you think about it. I mean, do you believe the nonsense? Do you?
I
pour water to
don't, like, because I went to a few of the practices, and I personally was laughing at like the fact that they were like doing gassers and stuff like after, like, that's the difference. And then like, okay, let's say like you're wanting to buy into it because like, you're a fan, you want to believe in this, and then like the first test, right? They go up to Chicago, and you're hearing that they're complaining because it was tackle football, and you're just like, yeah, this is the same shit. Like, I don't need a season to play out because I already know if you're complaining in practice, like what's gonna happen when it actually gets tough in the game, right? So I don't know. I don't think McDaniels is like a good coach personally. Like he might be a good like coordinator in a sense, but like even like I don't like his play calling at times, right? So I've been out on him for like 2 years as like the main guy in charge, right? So I don't see like a shift under him that would like make us a tougher team personally.
I mean, the only thing I have left for him is that he, this has never been his team. This is Flores's team. I mean, maybe now it's McDaniel's, but over the, because he's,
that's fair to
cycled
say.
players out over the last couple seasons, but we haven't really got to a point where we know that this team is a reflection of Mike McDaniel. I think this year and next year, like this year being a soft tank and next year probably being expectations back on, that's at which point we can say, okay, you've been here for a couple years now. You've had a chance to make all the mistakes with play calling and game management and whatnot. This is your team now, identity-wise. You know what I mean? And that's at which point I think we can fairly judge Mike McDaniel, and we've never let a coach get that far. I'm not saying I believe he's going to prove everything. I'm just saying that we have never let a coach get that far.
All right, well, let me ask you this, Color.
So we could say, yeah, this guy was garbage. Get him out of here, because now we can know this is at what level garbage is.
I'm not saying he's garbage, right? But I just don't
but
think
I got you. I got you,
but
but I'm also not saying he's gonna be good. I'm just saying that
right. But
we've never let it run far enough to know.
Let me ask you this though: like for me, like I saw enough to know he's not changed at all in my mind in that first quarter of the Jacksonville game, where he like refused to run the ball when they were having like pass protection issues with those first like 3 drives.
I got you, but he didn't have Ollie Gordon either. And I'm not saying that's the end all be all. I'm just saying that like he has to also learn and adjust that you can't let past configurations affect your decisions going forward. You have a configuration now that you either trust or you don't. So you're either going to call the plays you can or you don't. You know what I mean? I find this with trading too. It's like with when sometimes I'll get out of a trade too early because I'm letting past trades that have gone against me, affect my decision making to say, okay, now I got to take my profit and get out of here now.
Right.
When I might have been able to make more if I let the trade run. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I feel you on that.
I mean, we don't know. Again, we are getting to the point where other than Jason Sanders, and even he's injured now and not with us, we have nobody left from the Adam Gase era. And other than bringing Minka back and a couple smatterings and Tua, and Waddle, we really have nobody left from the Flores era.
I mean, the NFL continues to find a way to like let the Dolphins prep themselves up, because I fully believe we start season 2-0 going into that Buffalo game, and then
well, I guess what I really mean is if we're sitting here saying the same thing halfway through the season that McDaniel either can't call plays or the excuse is that he can't call that play because of personnel, then it's still on him because he has now helped to choose this personnel. So at that point, there's no more play calling excuses for him.
Well, one main player that you really built around was still forced upon him.
Yeah, but he also refuses to say he doesn't believe in him. So, that's making his own bed. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, at some point we'll get to the point where we can say McDaniel is responsible for all the personnel here and the play calling decisions based on that personnel.
How long?
I can't real quick, Kenna. Let's say Jason Sanders sucked. He doesn't, but let's just say for sake of this example, McDaniel, if he refuses to go for a 55-yard kick and we lose a game because of it, or if he refuses to admit that the guy is bad, or he continue, you see what I'm saying? Then we can say, yo, our kicking problems are because of McDaniel.
I get what you're saying, but also think about how long does it take for somebody to come in your house and tell you that this is not what it's at before you listen?
Well, who's telling them that? That's the question.
It depends on whose house you're going to. If I'm going to, let's say, Einstein's house, I'm not going to argue with him about physics. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't go to Einstein's house and tell him that his house is dirty because he lives like a slob. Meanwhile,
But what I'm getting at though is Einstein's not infallible.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
plenty of people have proved Einstein wrong on various different things.
Right.
So what do you take?
How you gonna come?
But you're not going to tell Einstein that.
Right, but how you gonna come in somebody's house and tell them that they shiny thing that they love and fell in love with is not it? How you think that's gonna go?
Yeah, you can't, and that's the thing is, and so if
and maybe that's
this far in, Kenna, if we build a whole new team and this far in, we're still rocking with Tua, that decision is on McDaniel. Absolutely.
Didn't Grier say, was it yesterday or recently, where like one of his main faults was that he listens to the coach too much? Like that came out of his mouth recently.
No, that he doesn't make decisions, that it's a collective, and that, you know, there's all these other people in, and so he's trying to please everyone rather than doing what he wants to do. Kind of like the fucking movie Draft Day, where he, you know,
is he literally blaming the collective?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we serious here?
Yes. Yes.
Well, hey, just add that to the copper pile, bro.
But
I'm even more a Chris Grier fan now.
Lo and behold,
he ain't with the collective, bro. Are you kidding me?
Chris Grier has come out in the last few months and been completely honest. Number one, blaming the collective. Number two, they're in a soft, secret, double agent tank here, potentially, because it's a reset, as literal quote. To me, what sort of expectations, what sort of things, like Mike McDaniel, how accountable can you hold a guy in a year that you're taking a step back? Is he safe already?
You can't.
What assurances? That's the word I was looking for.
That's pretty much
the assurances.
Cap, that's pretty much what I've been saying, is that, you know, this year, now with the way it's shaping up, if it's a soft reset, fine. Next year, maybe. Now the expectations should be back on. That's at which point McDaniel has his team that reflects his identity. Okay. And we can say, now fix your play calling mistakes, because there's no more excuses because of personnel.
So
I don't agree with that, though.
You chose all. No, I'm not saying there wouldn't be excuses, Roberto. What I'm saying is there would be no justification for blaming anybody else but the guy that believed in the team and put it together.
Right? Because he was part of the collective that agreed to the Tua extension, right?
Well, there we see. That's the part. That's the part we have to factor in, that most people don't have to factor in, because most Americans abhor a collective.
That's true. We like to know who's in charge and who to blame. Damn it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, let's say, like, are we on paper? Like, you guys see the season now. Like, are we on paper worse than last year?
I mean,
debatable, right?
Right. Like, it's either a push or like a little better.
It depends on which paradigm you're speaking in. Are we speaking in potential, or because I'm sure we believe we're better on paper?
On paper, though, Color. On paper, just name recognition, expectation.
We can't know is what I'm saying. We can't know because there is no name recognition on the paper.
I mean, yes, there is. There's tons of first-round draft picks. There's tons of players that are worth
potential. Now, we're speaking in the paradigm of potential. Okay, fine. Then we are better on paper.
You have your starting D line back, whether they stay healthy or not. Probably not, but
there's a lot of people.
They're healthy right now.
But there's a lot of people that believe in the NFL consistently that if you're turning over half your roster and making it younger every year, that you're better on paper. That's a philosophy.
That's true. So now, all right, I wanna kind of go down this idea because think of it like this: if they are in a this is the last year, they're gonna rebuild to something different next year because of the quote unquote reset, right? I think we know that there's plenty of players that are on this roster that we all expect to not be here. I'm going to name 3 of them off the top of my head. Number 1, Tyreek Hill. Number 2, Bradley Chubb. Number 3, Jalen Phillips. Those are 3 players I don't foresee on the 2026 Miami Dolphins roster.
One
For
of
all,
Phillips or Chubb will be on the team next year.
no, I don't think so. We literally have Chop. They'll have draft picks. They're not going to pay.
I don't think Waddle will be here either.
I mean, not if they're completely, really in full reset, right? And
Yeah,
we can now
Cap,
debate.
if we were to go by earlier, you seemed to disagree on the verbiage of tanking. If we were to go on the verbiage of just a soft rebuild, soft reset, then the expectations next year should be back on, correct? The windows should be back open, right?
I don't know, because to me,
I'm
you
just
got
saying,
to.
if you're
If you're
saying
gonna
that
do
all
it,
we have
you're
to
gonna
do
do
is
it this way.
retool, what they're saying, Cap, is that we're already Super Bowl contenders. We just have to retool and make sure we continue to be.
That was my question though, because if we're the same on paper now, right, than we were last year, like what were expectations last season? That's what I want to know. Like from the Dolphins' perspective,
Expectations
they've been
were
managing this team, Cap. I've been saying it for 3 seasons now. They've been managing this team as if we are already the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's what I was about to say.
Like they can just turn over all this stuff and do a soft reset and retool as if we just came off a Super Bowl champion.
Right, like we haven't even won a playoff game yet, and we think we got a Super Bowl window. Like that is.
So I'm sorry. Any talk of a reset is a tank. I'm sorry.
all right. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna get behind the mind of Chris Grier, because I say what you want about Chris Grier.
Cap, real quick. When the best you have done is 3 points away from a playoff win with your 3rd string backup, and when that's the best you've done in 5 years, a reset, the threshold from, like, we're already a 9-8 team, 8-9 team. Reset means we're now a 3-win team. That's tanking, bro.
But okay, but we just went through what we have on paper. So with that, with quote unquote tank, this is we'll say the soft reset is the signal for an actual tank year. But we all can also agree on potential on paper. We have players that can do something. Meanwhile, if this was a real tank year, you're not rolling with the type of talent Miami has. So I'm gonna now give up.
I'm pretty sure.
Now hold up, boys.
Okay,
Hold up. Because you can tank with the superstars, we can debate that. I'm going to say this is what Chris Grier is potentially doing. Yes, I like the hedging of the bet, because if it goes one way, maybe they stay with it. But if they're smart, here's what they'll do. They will target the shit out of Tyreek Hill. They will boost his numbers. He will have 3 200-yard plus games in short order. Damn, there's a bad wreck going the other way. Dude, fucking damn, bro. And he will then use that boosting of his abilities as trade bait for the deadline, right? Then also I would boost the numbers. I would be dialing up the protections and the type of things to get Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb's got 7 sacks in the first 6 weeks. He looks like the Bradley Chubb of old. Then I would throw his ass on the trade block right away. And then Jalen Phillips, I would boost Jalen Phillips' numbers in any way possible, any way imaginable. I would dial him up so he can come free off the edge. He's getting pressure sacks, and I would then sell that product as well. To me, if Chris Grier is going to take and hold the talent that he's got, the wise move is to take these assets, trade everyone off, and rebuild next year with the young talent you have.
It cut out real quick, and I was going to fill in. You said take these assets and it stopped. I was going to be like, and shove them.
The hole in that theory is if you have Bradley Chubb and Phillips going off and Tyreek going off, the Dolphins are going to have a good record at the trade deadline, and they're not going to trade anybody.
I got you, but all three of those players aren't going to be here. None of those players are going to be here next year. None of those players are going to be here next year. I think Phillips gets franchise
tag next season, but I think the other two are gone.
No way.
Again,
not when you can see the type of money.
Then what you're saying means that the delusion runs far deeper than we could ever imagine, because we literally think we're the Kansas City Chiefs just coming off a Super Bowl victory.
I agree with it. I think that's the move. The move is to take what assets you've got.
Fake it till you make it. That's what the move is. The move is fake it till you make it.
Well, you're not going to make it, right? Because I think we can agree all three of those players and several more marquee players on the roster today aren't going to be here next year outside of the young talent that hopefully is very good that you have for cheap prices. So if they were smart, they should do what all great real estate people do. Shout out to fucking Stephen Ross, and make this real estate worth as much as you can and sell it as high as you can, so that it's immediately going down in value.
Cap, I need HB I don't know if he's listening, but make a mental note of it. I need a T-shirt, a new T-shirt.
Take these assets and shove it.
No, well, that's a good one too. I want it to say, "Fake it till you make it," and the I in the word "it" be the number one. Fake it till you make it.
This is why I said they were hedging, though, right? Like, it looks like they want to tank.
I get it. They're hedging because they could go one way or the other.
But they're like refusing to actually tank,
right. So if, let's say, in Flores's tank year, right, all of the garbage we had turned out, he's a good enough coach that some of it ain't garbage, and let's say we get 10 wins that year. That would have been great. Because then it wouldn't have mattered the quarterback we get.
Well, I'm saying, if you were tanking, right, like when you got rid of Ramsey, you wouldn't have got a player back as like your main compensation. That's not what you want in that situation, right? And the same with like, you would not assign Judon when you had like 3 prospects, young edge rushers that you let go now. Like they're all gone off the team, right? So they decided it's just like a weird, like they're doing like, we want to tank, but we also want to like pretend we're competitive.
So they're hoping to get lucky right now. They're spraying and praying right now.
Nah. See, I don't think it's spraying and praying. I think it's calculated. I think it's calculated. Because if you look at it, adding it's calculated
because that's what it's calculated because that's what the mathematical formula spit out as the answer, because we've made so many mistakes the last 5 years.
Nah, I don't think it's that. I think it's more calculated to my theory is what I'm getting at.
Like when I gamble and roll the dice, that's a calculation too I'm making.
When you bring in a Matthew Judon who's going to do his best to win on first and second downs, and late in games when the obvious long down and distant passing downs come up, and you bring in fresh legs Chubb and fresh legs
that's all great.
Phillips,
that's all great. That's all great.
But again, we've seen
none of it scores points.
Those players do just fine, and they can eat, and you can boost their value by gaming the system in this way. To me, it just looks like there's a lot of ways in which the value can be boosted in these assets.
Well, we could find ourselves very quickly.
Inorganically, it's done by design.
We could find ourselves very quickly this season, 1-3. Okay. And then getting destroyed 70-20.
There's no way we'll be 1-3.
No, but what I'm saying is, when you look at the turnaround of the Broncos, that's a soft reset with Russell Wilson and all that debacle. That was a soft reset. They got themselves a stud quarterback, and boom, 70-20 what?
Well, the thing about a soft rebuild.
Do you think Bo Nix gives 2 shits about
Yeah, okay,
us
but let's
beating them 70-20?
Okay, I was at the 70-20 game, right? And like Denver literally, they could have had like 50 points in that game.
I know.
Like, they were going up and down the field just as easily as we were.
I was there.
They had so many turnovers. and then they clearly quit in the second half. Like that was I haven't seen an NFL team like quit like that like in a long time. But yeah, that game wasn't like
and the further
a
point
party as
being
people the score
the
says.
further point being is none of that was Bo Nix's team.
Right.
Yeah, but Color, you're talking about the rebuild, not the tear down.
No, but
Right,
that was
and-
a soft reset. They
How
already
was it a
had the
soft
team
reset?
built
They
with
gave-
Russell Wilson, and they just
But
plugged
they
in Bo
gave-
Nix.
But they gave no, that's a soft rebuild. They plugged in Bo Nix. The reset year was the year with Russell Wilson.
With Russell Wilson. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So they chose to pay
So
Russell Wilson
I'll reiterate
$1
what I
gajillion
said.
to reset. That sounds wild.
I'll reiterate what I started with. Don't be surprised if we find ourselves 1-3 going down 70-20 to somebody.
Okay, but like, in no way, shape, and form do I think that they said the year they signed Russell Wilson for all that money that it's a soft reset and then
No,
acted that way.
They thought he would be the guy, and then
I
they
didn't
realized
follow
he
the
wasn't,
Denver
and gone.
GM at the time. Maybe their GM isn't dumb enough to make that mistake.
Nah, I don't think that's it. I think it was just a failure all the way around.
Yeah, they
And
just
then
moved
the
off
soft-
of him.
That's it. I think you're
right,
reading a little
right.
too
So
far
what's the
into it.
difference with Tua? If they believe in
Yo,
Tua like
again-
Denver believed in Russell Wilson, then what's the difference?
There's no difference in that fact. You're talking about what are they going to do next? And if getting
The
another
problem with the
quarterback,
Tua thing,
if they get another quarterback next year,
No,
they
what
can
I'm
bounce
saying
back and
is
be
what I'm
back.
saying is the only difference is that Denver didn't make the mistake of telling their fans they're soft resetting with Russell Wilson.
Oh, you think that was designed then?
Because you're not going to say that about a guy like Russell Wilson. Chris Grier could be throwing Tua under the bus
no,
here.
I think they thought Russell Wilson would be the guy, and then they got him, and they're like, he's not the guy.
What I'm saying is, if they were soft resetting,
Yeah, I
with
hear
Wilson,
what you're saying.
they're not going to tell people that because of the respect that you give Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah, and Chris Grier's thumbing Tua in
He's
the
basically
eye with it.
saying, yeah, we're soft resetting with our star quarterback that we shouldn't need to reset with.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's like two different situations, right? Like they didn't have Wilson. Like everyone here in this organization had Tua, and they all agreed to pay him. Like after the fact, they knew who he was at that point.
Right, but
So
what
then
I'm
they-
saying,
they
knew
can't, like, run from
but they agreed to pay Russell Wilson somewhere throughout the season. They said,
I would say this. Both can be true, Color. I would say both can be true. They did all agree, and now they're all in agreement that we're coming out on the other side of that wrong decision, and it's in the way of a soft reset. But on paper, it looks like a team that could be, this is a team that could win 6 games, it's a team that could win 11
really quick,
games.
Roberto, you just made a very good point that kind of helped mine along a little bit. They believed in Russell Wilson, so they were never going to say that they're soft resetting. If we're saying that, what's that say about what Chris Grier believes in Tua?
Like, why did Chris Grier go out and say that?
Well,
Because
again,
it kind of goes against all his moves.
Maybe it speaks to how he believes in Tua one way or the other.
It might. Well, no. Okay. It definitely does because, like I said, if they really, truly, or at least I don't know who controls the money.
If
on
they
this team,
believe, if they believed what Tua's fans believe about him, they would have never said we're resetting.
Not only that, they would have restructured him and they would have added pieces. But they didn't want to, because if you restructure him this year, then you're locked in for like 2 more years or something. I think. Or like
Right,
it's really hard to get a
because you'd be kicking the can down the curb. You'd be resetting the contract.
So like that kind of tells you how they feel about him, if you ask me personally.
Well, all I know is in 1988, nobody told the Dolphin fans we were resetting when we went 6-10.
Well, okay, all right.
With Dan Marino.
It is
all of the
damning.
superstars still on our team. Clayton, Duper, all of them were still here.
Chris Grier saying we're resetting is damning as hell, and it's signaling to a lot of things. Realistic expectations,
right. And whoever our GM was at the time, probably Don Shula, would have never said that.
No, even though
it happened, but that's what happened in '88.
No,
in order for us to finally get a good enough draft spot to pick up a guy like Sammy Smith in '89 or whenever we did, we had to tank in '88.
This is also something that, like, I would imagine the team would say, like, before the draft or during the draft too, right? Like it's almost
Hit
like
the
they
like button,
believe they'll be
everybody.
contenders. They got into the training camp practices, and then he was just like, "Oh shit, we're not going to be good this year." And then he comes out and has his press conference.
I'm not
I don't
sure
know
he didn't
about
already
that.
determine that. I'm not sure he didn't already determine that in the last
He determined that last year.
Tua failure.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think that became clear when Tua went down for that stretch before early
I'll
of
tell you, Cap,
2024.
you're
They
right.
said,
And tell me if it's the same injury. The night that Mike McDaniel, and I said it back then, the night McDaniel kissed Tua on the head was him
yes,
kissing Tua goodbye.
bro, I'm telling you right then, when Mike McDaniel got to the podium and you saw a soulless, lifeless person in there, it looked like not only did he know, like that conversation happened before the season started, that if this guy goes down, we're maneuvering to change this thing. And what's weird is that, okay, that would have been signaled they should have already gotten rid of Tua and should have already gotten rid of a lot of people and started tanking the right way by getting rid of all their assets. So I'm going to double back again to my argument. The only clear idea that I can understand of why they haven't chosen that, outside of them getting scolded from the NFL for trading all their assets, stuff like that, was because those assets had no value. They were losing. It was going to be too much to lose on the assets you possess, where you would be upside down. You'd be in the negative. Tyreek Hill, not 1,000 yards, telling everybody he wants to quit. Bradley Chubb didn't play a fucking snap. Jalen Phillips, injured. Tua Tagovailoa, a 50-50 guy. None of those assets are worth shit at this point. So what do you need to do? You need to then maneuver this organization in a soft reset year to bring value back to your assets so you can get rid of them to change this organization over.
You need to, because let's just be real.
They've created a new fork in the road for themselves.
Yeah, but as I say every year, and this is what we were talking about earlier with the potential and the rolling of the dice and all that. Like I say every year, everybody still can get better every year. So if we're 9-1, 9-2 at the bye instead of 2-9, then all of that, what you just said, goes right out the window.
Right,
Somebody's
but in the same
backstage,
breath,
Keller.
though, or like
Yeah,
our assets
it's
aren't worth
Anthony.
anything. They traded our highest rated asset from last year, Jonnu.
Well, I'm
and
just saying.
basically used him to get a safety with the
Right.
Ramsey trade.
Just to clarify what I meant, Tua, everybody knows no belief from my end. But as I said, every single year, as long as they're going to let the guy put on a jersey and be our quarterback, he has the potential to get better. Everybody does.
But also
I get better every day I live. I get better.
But you can kind of game it too, right? You go to Tyreek and you're targeting him, 9 times a game, every game. His numbers are going to go up. And on the minimum, even in losses, you can boost the numbers of players that you are looking to increase their value for. So then you can now get compensation that helps you build for your future. And that's something I think they are literally now they have it at both. They got it in both ways, right? If they can do that and kind of game the system for themselves with their own nefarious plans, but it also could have the byproduct that the team is winning and other guys are uplifted, and there's this I said it jokingly earlier, but there's this us versus them type of mentality, and they become the Cleveland Indians in the movie freaking Major League, and they force the team to keep them by overstepping expectations and delivering in a way that that can be undenied.
Right.
But and that's always the possibility, and that could be. But on the flip side, if it's not, the Dolphins are they've got 2 forks in the road. This team is going to overcome and force our hand, or they're going to not, and we're going to force it in a direction that leads to somewhere where we have more options.
And
that's what I think is happening.
The most nefarious one would be they're holding on to Chubb and Tyreek and these players until the trade deadline so they could sell season tickets
Yes.
And at that
Well,
point, they've already sold the tickets.
that ultimately goes into modus operandi. Number one is make profit, and they have always done that. Right now, they've sold that they're still in it. Next year, they could sell that we've changed our colors. You see what I'm saying? We've turned to new. They're always operating in 1, 3, and 5 year cycles in Miami. That's all they're doing.
Incompetence at the highest level, Cap, to be honest. Like, they don't know what they want to be, in my honest opinion. They
I
don't
don't
know if
know
they
about
want to be
that,
a
Anthony.
competitive. Huh?
I don't know about that, Anthony. I think if they're being real, they're actually being honest about things right now, and they're actually looking for a way that it can still benefit the team and organizationally. The logo, maybe not so much this season, and maybe not so much any of the players on the team this year, but the logo on what's going to be for years to come. They've given themselves options by going this route.
Yeah, and Color brought up something earlier about Tua. I feel that his development has hit his peak. It's peak.
That's
I don't
right.
think
His
he has any
development
more
peaked
room for
in
development.
2023, buddy. His
Huh?
development peaked in 2023.
Yeah. So, and to be honest, this is where I've given up faith on this team. I feel Grier and the ownership. I understand Grier drafted him, and people are saying it was the owner's choice and not Grier. But I feel that Grier finally gave in, and he's taking credit for the pick. So I feel that for the Tua pick, and I feel that he's sticking with this kid to prove he didn't make the wrong choice. I've been saying this from the beginning, and
Anthony. I think that has been true. That argument. I think Chris Grier has put plenty of distance between him and Tua, and also made Mike McDaniel not just sign for him, but then get it notarized when Mike McDaniel pounded the table to pay Tua. Chris Grier has completely untethered himself to any responsibilities for picking Tua.
And Anthony, I would also I won't even go as far as Cap. I would respectfully disagree that it's ever been that, because Chris Grier has let plenty of players go.
The collective, all this bullshit.
Obviously, it's not the those aren't the quarterback. I get the difference there. But if you notice what Chris Grier just did in the press conference with, throwing the collective under the bus, he can now easily distance himself even further and say, Tua was a decision of the collective that I was forced to go along with.
I don't think anybody in the fan base will push back against that. I think we can all agree
think you're right, Matt. I think you're spot on.
I think we can agree right now it's a collective.
Especially since the fan base is smart enough to know what's been going on
are you kidding me?
Sociologically in the last 10 years when it comes to
there's no argumenting that.
Yeah, for anyone worrying that
he don't have to say that out loud. We all know it.
For anyone worrying,
and for me, I don't trust and I don't. For me, I've been hesitant to believe a tiger never changes stripes, and I don't believe that Grier really changes his stripes. He's just trying to save face, and he's saying all this crap to save face, and I don't believe anything he's spoken out of both sides of his mouth multiple times.
Anthony, if he was forced to go along with the collective from the beginning, then how can we know that he's ever been on board?
Yeah. Whether it's him or the collective no longer on board, like if we were Tua, so
the question really becomes: is Steven Ross a Marxist?
He would be restructured right now, and since he's not, whether it's Grier or the collective, we're not Tua, future forward person.
Yeah, no, Tua's whatever. Unless Tua plays MVP and comeback player of the year talk because of the games he missed, I don't foresee it. Anyone with expectations further than that. Color, who just came backstage?
That was Kenna number 2. I guess his other one disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is where I want to see if truly if Grier gives a backup quarterback like Quinn Ewers a fair chance, like a fair chance. We know Tua's gonna shit the bed at some points too, not just because of injuries, but performance wise. I want to see if he gives a guy like Quinn Ewers a fair shot or just sticks with Tua the whole season and
Man,
stuff like that.
you shouldn't want to see Quinn Ewers at all.
It'll
No.
be Zach Wilson unless Wilson gets hurt.
Yeah, we should not want to.
I don't want to see. I don't even want to see Ewers next year. If I'm being real,
Let him
You guys
develop
gave up
as
on
much
him?
as he can.
no, it's not that. If this is the soft reset year, and Tua's not on the team next year's the tank year. Do you understand? This is the soft reset. Next year will be the tank year if Tua's not on it. In which case, they're not going to set Quinn Ewers up for anything other than failure.
Okay.
Other than failure. So really,
Yeah,
you should not want to see him for a couple of years. To be honest with you,
The only
He'll
way
never
I'm
get his fair
excited for
shake.
next for you said this is a soft reset year, and
no. Chris Grier said that. Chris Grier said that.
Oh, if Grier said it's a soft reset year, does this mean we might draft a quarterback in 26 or something?
No, I don't see how we're going to be in position to draft anyone of a quarterback nature. If they're smart, they'll go trenches the first 2 picks next year and build for drafting a quarterback the following year. If they're smart, that's what they'll do.
And during the training camp, I actually liked how Jonah and Patrick were playing together. Like, what are your guys' opinions on how they were performing throughout training camp and during the preseason? I know we were playing mostly against the backups. They were playing mostly against second string and third string players and stuff like that, fighting for their spot, and they rarely played against the starters. Just based off what you saw, did you like how they performed during the preseason?
I feel like they're gaining chemistry, and I see the promise at Patrick Ball and left tackle. I think he's going to be pretty good. How dominant can he become? I don't know. I think the sky is the limit, but that'll all depend on things. Jonah, still too early to tell.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
early for him.
I mean, people want to make a mountain out of a molehill both ways, right? It's a great play or a terrible play. I just think it's just the guy playing and getting his feet underneath him. I'm not going to make any reservations on anything either of them do, because up and down that line is question marks. Aside from Aaron Brewer. Aaron Brewer, surprisingly, a guy who I had a massive question mark about coming to Miami last year, is the only thing I'm certain of that he'll do his job and do it well. Patrick, he's still young. He's a first-year starter at the position. I know he's got some stuff we has promised, but he's still, Jonah, he's got a rookie playing next to him. Nobody's going to talk to how that's going to affect the performance of Patrick Paul playing aside a rookie in his first year as a starter. Then meanwhile, I don't know what the hell's going on with right guard. I don't think anyone can tell me definitively what's going to happen there. I know we went and got Daniels, but I mean, this is a guy it's not like he's a world beater. He's not, he's nothing great. Can he be good enough? Fine. But who's he going to play next to? Is it Austin Jackson? Is it not Austin Jackson? Are they going to rotate right tackle all year? And there's the question there. Again, offensive line, giant question mark up and down.
Yeah. And for me, what's his name? Aaron Brewer, for me, I felt he was kind of the weakness, that he was letting a lot of pass rushing opportunities down the middle of the line.
I get that, but I know what to expect of him at the minimum, bro. At the minimum, I know what to expect from the guy. Is it the greatest of expectations? I would say it's 50-50. At least I can build on that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's hard. I think the issue is a lot of teams don't want to trade their young players at offensive line, even though they have good or great starters at those positions, because they need depth, players to get injured and stuff. So you're never a lot of teams are never going to trade backups for, even though they're not going to be starting the whole season and stuff like that, to a team that needs it, because they need it themselves if their starter gets injured. So that's why you never see great young offensive linemen get traded, because teams want to hold on.
You don't see great young offensive linemen get traded because there's hard enough to find already, Anthony. The thing about needing an NFL good offensive lineman, especially a young one that come out like polished, they're freak athletes. And a lot of guys who play football that are quote unquote freak athletes are, a lot of those dudes end up going into different positions. They become running backs, they become linebackers, stuff like that.
Receivers, tight ends.
Whatever they can play. Because being those dudes eat. That's why you notice you'll see these guys after football, they're skinny all of a sudden. That's a full-time job to eat like that, to grow like that, to stay that size, then to feed that machine, to then bang your head to a million little car wrecks every week, and then have the athleticism while carrying all that weight to get upfield and get on smaller guys. It's a mentality, and they're hard as hell to find, bro. That's it. That's the only reason why you don't let young, talented guys like that go. It's always a roll of the dice.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a freak athlete in college right now that you guys need to be paying attention to, because he's a superstar track athlete, and he's a super athlete on the football field. He plays for Maryland. Nick Harbor. He's 6'5" and he's playing corner. He runs pretty fast. He's Olympic quality. They're saying he might compete in the Olympics during cut.
I gotta be. Listen, I got you, Anthony, and I appreciate the knowledge, but I can't look at athletes. To me, once you get into the pro sports of things, everything changes. Every one of these sons of bitches are the best track runner in their county. You know what I'm saying? The best in their state. Every one of these guys is the greatest, and it's just football athletes are such a rare breed of epic proportions.
Pro athletes in general are rare breeds, to be honest. Like the percentage.
NBA and NFL to me is the biggest disparity I've ever seen in my life.
No,
because
actually, baseball is because
no. I get it. Probably the hardest thing to do in all of sports is hit a fastball. I can almost agree on that. But aside from
every one of them are 30% or less.
Yeah,
it's not like they're even hitting them.
Exactly. To me, though, you could be a guy that's got a gut, and you
can be out of shape more in baseball.
Yeah, there's a physical demanding to play the game and play it well and do a career. But I'm sorry, man, you don't hit your mid 30s and you're best in the sport in a league. Not, I don't know. It's just the anomalies in football are far and wide, bro. And then basketball, because you usually ain't shit unless you're fucking 6'5". You know what I'm saying? You ain't even allowed to play pro basketball unless you're 6'5".
Yeah. Isn't it something like
Bugsy was
13% of 7-footers are in the NBA or something? Of all
humans? Of course. Why wouldn't you be? You're already, closer to the rim.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was Dion. It was either Dion or Ed Reed that was doing like a TED talk, and he said the percentage was very low, 5% of guys that get drafted make it. And I think it's 4 or 5% of. It's a very low percentage of guys that get drafted first, second round make it to the NFL, like stay on a NFL roster and not get cut and stuff like that. Does that shock you that percentage is that low?
No. The shocking part is, I would say the shocking part of it is when you look at, there's only around 1,100 of these jobs given. And then you look at, I would say out of those 1,100, maybe 900 of them are actually going to get to play the hell out of the game. And then of those 900, the ones that stand out amongst all them are 100 of them. And then even amongst those 100, there's really 12 that stand up all by themselves year in and year out.
The only thing
to think that we boil down to people wanting to be these top dozen people in a sport in the nation. That the crazy part is that a lot of people do everything in their power to become that when there's so
It
many
doesn't work
obvious
out like they
physical,
wanted.
not just work out, like fuck, bro. You just got to have first of all, you got to have the physical attributes. Then you got to have the work ethic. Then you got to have the mind. Then you got to have the discipline.
By the way, that's 1,600 and something players in the NFL.
Oh,
but
60, well, I think 50.
I know. We go through this there. I've heard so many numbers because everybody just we're all just talking in conversation, so it's like a number just gets thrown out every time, and it's different every time.
Keep us in line, Color. I can't. I'm driving.
But
I'm keeping this car in line. Who just came backstage, Color?
I'm gonna let you know here in just a second, because it's very special guest. We ain't seen him in a while. Man, he don't even look the same. Oh my God, what is that? What is that shit all on your face, bro? MCJB.
What up, MC?
Dolphins music producer extraordinaire.
What's up, y'all?
What up, MC?
What's up, man?
See you, buddy.
You finally grew a beard, MC. You finally grew a beard.
I know, right? I'm old now.
Damn, seasoned. You're seasoned now. You got the seasoning you got the pepper all over your face, man.
Hey, that's what happens. That's what happens, MC. You be a Dolphins fan for life. You'll age quickly, buddy. Quickly. They'll suck the life right out of you.
Oh, y'all off.
When do you have to start dyeing the thing?
I lost my hair being a Dolphins fan, MC. See, you still have your hair.
See, Anthony, I just said fuck it and I shaved mine, man. I just dispensed with the pleasantries.
Anthony, I don't know, man. I'm getting bald. My back of my head already got a bald spot.
I'm thinning out these days too, boys. I'm thinning out. I still got plenty. I got no bald spots, but I know when my hair's thinning. I can see. Hit the like button, everybody. We've been cooking for, I don't know, almost 2 hours now. Make sure everybody's getting those likes in. I think we've only asked chat to hit the like button one time other than right now. So everybody, please hit the likes. It's all we ask. I can't see chat, Color. What's going on in chat?
You about as much as is always going on in chat. About a 3 IQ. No, I'm just kidding. Not much. I haven't been paying attention either, just because I'm working at the same time as I'm.
So, Cap, do you think it's gonna be a blowout against Indy, like most people think it is, or it's gonna be closer than you think because they just lost their owner?
What's up
this offseason?
Who thinks it's gonna be a blowout?
Crypto agrees. It was a farewell kiss. Sorry, Anthony. I just had to point that out.
Yeah. Get the chat, Color.
Yeah, no. I go on Twitter and I go on to some Dolphin Spaces and stuff like that, and they're saying that they feel that this game is not going to be even close. We're going to blow them out by like 20 points or something like that.
Hey, I'm gonna give you some advice. Don't listen to Batman.
Yeah, is that who you're talking about, Anthony?
I swear to God, it sounds like it.
It sounds just like Batman, dude, because that sounds like a lie. I'm on Twitter all the time. I don't never hear none of that.
I mean, I'm not lying though. It does. That sounds like a Batman quote.
It definitely does.
Yeah. We don't need your help around here, red, white, and Bills fan. We don't need your help around here, bro. We got you.
What's he say, Color?
He says Bills had a soft rebuild last year, and they were a couple plays from the Super Bowl, and their quarterback won MVP.
Yeah, the Bills.
We don't need your help, Sean. You're good, man.
Nah, fuck all that. Fuck all that. The Bills organization is a soft rebuild with a soft rebuild in their pants. Get up out of here, dog. Fuck out of here.
Hey, Color.
Yeah, you're right. It was a Batman thing. Batman
of course it was.
All right.
What's up, MC?
Don't listen to Batman. It's Manzana, right? It sounds like Manzana.
Yeah, it's Anthony.
Don't listen to that fool. You know he just
no.
Man, anyway, don't listen to him. Stupid. Anyway, I love Batman stuff.
Yeah, Batman's
I got a
crazy
question for you, and I'm gonna change the subject a little bit from NFL to college, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
What you got on the Catholic Convicts game?
Who we playing?
I'll
It's
give you
Notre
a-
Dame
it's
versus
Notre
Miami
Dame,
on Sunday.
Notre Dame, Miami Sunday colors. What he's talking
Oh,
about?
we're starting right off the bat with Notre Dame. Oh, hell yeah!
That's why I
Yep.
say Catholics Convicts.
Ah, man, we got Carson Beck, bro. We got
Let him cook.
a decent quarterback, man.
I honestly, I have it 24-23. It's gonna be like a 1-point game or
Ooh.
something.
Who winning that?
Miami.
I don't know color. I don't know why I'm thinking this. Probably because I'm from Atlanta. He's from Milton. But the backup quarterback for Beck, I think is a whole lot better than Carson Beck.
You think
It's
he's
Luke-
the next rising
Luke-
star? Yeah.
Oh, Luke.
His name is Luke. Hold on.
Luke Nickel?
Luke Nickel, and he's from my area. He's from East Cobb.
Ooh,
Millville.
That's an interesting. That's a new name, but it
He's
seems like it might be a good football name,
His
bro.
brother-
Yeah,
I
it's like a
think-
good football name.
His brother is I don't know his
He's
name.
like
better
a
linebacker.
four-string tight
It'd
end.
be a way better like safety name or linebacker
His
name.
brother's a
Luke
tight
Nickel.
end.
Like
His brother's a tight end. He's a load too. I don't know how much he is, but they both. So listen to this. They both went to Milton High School in Alpharetta in Milton, Georgia. They just
Okay.
won the state championship last year. And
well,
dude,
like Cap said, all of these guys are the best athlete in
Yeah,
Milton, Georgia.
Yeah. Again, and I get it. He won in Georgia, but and listen, no disrespect, MC. But I just drove through Georgia and they could barely drive in that fucking place, bro. So I'm just saying the bar isn't as high as you think.
you must have went to Atlanta or Savannah.
No, I was
Those
on
are
the
two
interstate.
He might have passed by you, bro.
I'm on the
I
interstate.
don't live there no more. I don't live there no more.
Oh, you're not in Georgia anymore. All right.
No. He ain't been in Georgia in a while.
Oh,
Yeah, MC
I
out here
haven't talked
living
to
his
Cody
best
in a
life.
while, so.
right on.
Wait,
I lost
did
track
you
of
get
everybody.
your degree from the University of Georgia, MC?
No. I don't have a bachelor's. I have associates. And I went to the rival school.
Birmingham.
Florida?
You went to Georgia Tech?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, look
I
at
went
that.
to
Georgia Tech?
Yes,
Well,
sir.
no wonder you like Tua so much in all that option crap, dude.
Shout out to Paul
no,
Thompson,
seriously,
man.
though.
But nah,
It's a
No,
real
I-
shame. Georgia Tech has recently converted to a pure West Coast, but man, it was
They'll
such
be
a
all
treat
right.
watching-
That
It was
triple
such
option
a
was
treat
fun.
watching that triple option, though, dude. I used to
It
love
was.
watching
Navy's
that
the
win
only
shit.
team that does.
As a-
Navy and Army are the only teams that still do triple option. I think.
Yeah, Air Force
Georgia Tech had
Air Force implements it, but they're more of an air raid RPO straight West Coast now.
All right, let's slide back just a little bit. That the backup quarterback, I would say fine, right? I'm there for it. But if we're looking at for the Canes, if we're looking at the Canes and just measuring them, I mean, Carson Beck's going to have all the best O-line out in front of him. He's going to be able to wheel and deal. Here's the guy who they're like looking down at all his accomplishments in Georgia. And I mean, he's part of all the winning they've done there in the last couple of years with the national championships and
And they say
everything.
he's a noodle arm.
Hold on.
And let's not look back at all the passes his friggin' wide receivers were dropping while he was putting dots on them too. So I'm just saying. And then if we're talking about this convicts and Catholics game, I'm pretty certain. Now, don't quote me on this. Color, you might be able to look it up. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish haven't beaten Miami in like the last 7 visits. 8, 9 visits. Like, it's been a long time since they were able to beat Miami in Miami. Even that Manny Diaz team put it on them. Still one of the greatest games I've seen.
I'd love to be able to have an honest take on that game, but I have no idea what's going on with Notre Dame. So I'm going to have to just stick with total
They're
raw.
throwing They're
Well,
starting a
I'm
true
just
freshman at
okay.
quarterback.
That may be Anthony, but I don't follow them, so I don't really like.
Yeah.
I can't judge
Fuck
whether
Notre
you're
Dame,
accurate
color.
or not. What I'm
Fuck
saying
Notre
is,
Dame.
all I have exactly, MC. That's all I have to rely on is pure fandom, pure fanboy, pom pom waving. Fuck Notre Dame. Hurricanes are gonna blow them out, 57-3.
Fuck your shit, color. Let's
Yeah,
go.
no, and color for me, it's weird. I since my dad's youngest brother went to both schools, I'm down like I want Miami to win, and I want Notre Dame to win. Like,
Can't have that.
yeah, no, it's
The only
weird for
time
me.
I've ever stuck up for Notre Dame, well, they're a good school, but the only time I've ever stuck up for them was when they beat Florida State like 45-24 in the regular season.
That had to
And
be
then they tied them at the end of the year, and the voters voted to give Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles the national championship when the Notre Dame Fighting Irish literally beat them on the football field. You can't determine who's a better team more than who beat who on the football field. This is football.
That's right.
You might get lucky, yeah, any given Sunday, but not any given Saturday.
Go back to
Wait a minute. Don't say that to Michigan with Appalachian State.
Can I give feedback on you, Captain, about
But Anthony, we're not talking about a close game where, oh my God, wide left for the Knowles kicker. No, it was a complete and utter blowout in the middle of the 3/4 way of the season where people are still playing hard.
Was this the same year that they put? What was this the same year that we lost to I think it was UCLA or something like that?
Yeah, we weren't even really contending that year. I think we might have lost to the year before that. We lost to Nebraska in the national championship game, I believe.
Okay. No, because I thought there was a year that they gave. We had beat them the week before the national. They voted for who was going to go in the national championship, and they held it against us that we lost to Oregon, or I think it was Oregon or some West Coast team.
Who are you talking about? The Canes?
Yeah, the Canes.
Okay.
Come on, this year?
No, this was in the late '90s. I think it was. It was like 90. It was
You're
like
talking about
97 or
Gino
98.
Torretta era, or right after him, Brad Kaya,
It was not Gino Torretta. It was the early career, the quarterback that was before Ken Dorsey.
The tall, thin dude. Oh, before Ken Dorsey. It wasn't Kaya. I think Kaya was after Dorsey, right?
Yeah, Kaya was after Dorsey. Was it Steve? What's his name? Was it Steve Walsh?
Steve Walsh was before Torretta, I believe.
Yeah, I can't remember who was. There was a quarterback between them. It was him and Torretta. I can't remember who it was. That was the quarterback that. He was one of our offensive coordinators at some point. He became an offensive my God, I can't remember the guy's name, but he ended up becoming a great offensive coordinator in college and the pros and stuff like that. Because
I'll be right back.
Craig Erickson.
Erickson, yeah, it was Erickson.
It was Craig Erickson. Yep.
Yeah.
His father was the coach of the Canes, Dennis Erickson, for a minute.
Yeah, Craig Erickson. That was the year that we beat Florida State that year. It was one of the wide right games and stuff like that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. We're not even talking about a close loss. The Notre Dame whooped the ever-loving shit out of him. It wasn't even close, dude.
It's like what we did to Nebraska.
It was obvious to everybody in the country who the better team was. But
Color, it was like what we did to Notre Dame when we forced Then we go to Notre Dame and blow them out or whatever, and force one of their coaches to retire and stuff like that, in the 80s.
I don't remember. But I don't know. I just think it's.
For me, I think to me
Bobby Bowden was the Nick Saban of college football back then. So if
They gave him way too much credit.
take that for whatever you want to mean it as as far as who they voted for to get that national championship that year.
Yeah, no, and I feel that, to me, the BCS, both the BCS and human voting has its flaws.
Anthony, this might have been like 2 years maybe before the BCS was implemented. When the BCS first started, they still based it on like voting, like it came down to who the number 1 and number 2 teams, whatever bowl they played in, was the national championship game. But right before
I'm
BCS,
so glad that
it was
changed
complete.
too.
Right before BCS, it was complete vote, and that's it. Like they literally could have just voted the worst team in the country.
Yeah, no, but
wanted to.
MCJB, I feel that the playoff voting system is way too biased because, like, it feels like they're.
I mean, it's biased, but not as biased as what Color's talking about. Oh my God, that's
Yeah. When you're talking
the
about
national championship was a
right.
fucking Taco Bowl or
Right.
the Fiesta Bowl. Way
Right,
before bro, they were biased.
Right, because how many playoff spots are there? 8 right now?
12.
There's going to be 12. Or there's 12? Okay, so if you get the 13th spot because of bias, you still have 12 shots to get it next year. You used to have 1 shot back then. And if the voters didn't like you, they didn't like you.
No, couldn't you be like a split champion with the old system too?
You could, but they never did it. Like nobody ever, because it was pure vote back then.
But
Yeah,
y'all remember like 2012 or 13 when LSU played Alabama and Alabama was supposed to be like number 3 and they didn't put the 2 seed in. I don't know who was the 2 seed, but I think it was like Ohio State. I don't remember. They lost to someone.
Yeah, I think everybody just basically, like, whoever voted on it just basically voted for whoever the AP said was number 1.
Yeah, no, and for me, this is why, in my opinion, I feel the college football rankings are biased because you know who controls it? Fox and ESPN, and they're big fans.
Can I ask a question?
Right. There's the ESPN coaches poll and there's the AP poll, the Associated Press. So
how do you think it's biased?
You need to know.
I'm just asking. Why do you think it's biased?
Because media, especially the Associated Press, is biasing everything.
I get that, Color, but I don't think last year was biased.
No. I
think that last year was fair and square. Alabama
but even if the bias only affects the 13th team, it's like, okay, enough already. We got to cut the line somewhere. You know what I mean?
I get that. The 12th team was SMU. They went undefeated the whole year. They lost They lost to Clemson. They lost to Clemson in the ACC championship, but they still got in. I don't know if that's biased. I don't think that's biased.
For me, the bias is
if it is, it doesn't affect the overall outcome of the national championship. Because generally speaking, that 13th team was never going to win the championship anyway.
And that 13th team was Alabama last year.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm saying, JB, the Associated Press and ESPN are basically ACC fanboys, and they were upset that an undefeated team like SMU got in over an Alabama who got blown out at home.
No, I get that. My bad, friend. Continue. Hold on, my bad, Color. Continue, Anthony. Then I'll talk.
But they were constantly saying that SMU didn't deserve to be in the playoff. They should have put Alabama, who got blown out twice at home by Oklahoma, and I forgot the second team that they lost.
So they lost to Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, so you're right. So you're a Bama fan saying there was no bias because
I don't.
At some point, MC, you got to realize, okay, we're not always the best every year. You know what I mean?
I agree. Last year was a shit show. Last year was a complete shit show. If you look at the strength of schedule, the
same thing with Tua, MC. It's what separates you from the average Alabama fan.
Yeah, you guys see that Dolphins linebacker coach got arrested
Right,
today?
exactly.
No, I
'Cause
did
I'm
not.
I
Hold
don't,
on.
you know,
Hold
when
on
I
a second,
see
Color.
when I see
Hold on.
good teams, I see good teams. If I see we're bad, I'm gonna plain and simple call it out.
Color. Roberto just said that the Dolphins
Oh
linebacking
shit!
coach
My
just got
mic's
arrested.
hold on.
The Dolphins quarterback coach just got arrested.
Linebacker coach
Linebacking coach.
Linebacker. Oh no.
Ryan Crow.
No.
Color, hit the breaking news and announce
Bro,
it.
you're kidding me. All right, hold on.
For what,
We're
Roberto?
gonna find out.
Battery.
all
we're
over
gonna-
the place. Wait, that wasn't it. It's live. It's broken. According to somebody, Dolphins linebacker coach has been arrested for something.
It's on NBC 6 South Florida News right now.
Sorry,
Oh,
I was
man.
too quick on
What's
the breaking news button. I didn't get the.
What's the
news.
charges? What's the charges, Roberto?
It says battery. Yeah, arrested
Domestic
for
battery?
Friday.
Domestic battery.
Oh
Domestic
no!
battery. Damn, he done beat his
Now,
wife or
wait a
kids
minute.
or some
Didn't we
shit.
move that one guy that we really liked? Didn't we move him to defensive tackle coach, defensive line coach?
No, we've had the same defensive line coach for a while now.
The guy that was saying you got to earn the right to rush the quarterback. That guy. That's not the guy. He got moved to defensive line. He was our linebackers coach last year.
I don't know. Everybody hit the like button.
Yeah,
We're here
this ain't
live
the guy.
breaking
This
news.
ain't the guy we were admiring last year.
Color, see if you can find any
I
information
got it
on
right
that.
here. I already got it right here. We'll go with the first one on Google's results. NBC Channel 6 out of South Florida. Dolphins outside linebackers coach arrested for battery in Fort Lauderdale, according to the police. From Julian Quintana and Brianna Nespral of the South Florida 6 News, Miami Dolphins outside linebacker coach Ryan Crow was arrested on Friday in Fort Lauderdale after being accused of battery, jail records showed. Crow, 37 years old, was charged with battery / touch or strike. Broward jail records showed. He's charged with related to domestic violence, according to the jail records. According to an arrest report, Crow and the victim lived together as a family in Fort Lauderdale and got into an argument about past relationships. Wow. As the argument escalated, the report said, Crow intentionally shoved the victim. The victim was not injured, the report said. The report said that several witnesses saw what happened and called police. One witness said he saw Crow put his arms around the victim, and it looked like he was going to perform a takedown. The victim's legs were off the ground, and the witness told officers that Crow whispered something into the victim's ear. A second victim, the report said, saw Crow. I guess that was meant to say witness. A second witness, the report said, saw Crow throwing slaps and trying to grapple the victim. When Crow noticed people were watching, he stopped and headed to his apartment. The Dolphins have released a statement on the arrest Friday morning saying Crow was placed on administrative leave. Quote, "We are aware of the serious matter involving Ryan Crow and are currently gathering more information. Ryan has been placed on administrative leave effective immediately. We have been in communication with the NFL and will reserve further comment at this time." End quote from Miami Dolphins. Crow joined the Dolphins as a coach before the 2024 season, started his coaching career in 2018 as a defensive assistant with the Titans, and spent 6 seasons there becoming a special teams assistant and then outside linebackers coach. And just for some reason, they end the article by reminding us the Dolphins' regular season starts Sunday, September 7th against the Indianapolis.
Got to plug it in.
I guess. Yeah, that's like,
yeah. The flagship, the NBC.
they
Gotta
could have
get it in
just
there.
said, and this comes as it's really close to the start of the season. They could have just said that, you know.
No, they want to. Well, that's unfortunate. Sounds like it sounds like it's with his missus, but it says
The
past
victim, the way they
relationships.
described the victim, it seems like it wasn't a mutual fight. Otherwise, there'd be two people. Nobody would have got arrested. It sounds like, and then he stopped when he noticed people watching. Sounds like it was probably a female.
Or it could be like a stepson or something like that.
Or
Maybe, I don't know.
somebody that is obviously inferior to his physical attributes.
Well, you know what I found very interesting in that statement from them is that he went for the takedown. You know, I mean, linebacker coach looking for a tackle. It's he's practicing what he preaches, boys.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of jiu-jitsu studios in South Florida. You know,
get your head on the right side and you know, double leg takedown. Sounds like he's out there putting it to work. And
I think he was doing homework for the Couture School of MMA.
Is this our culture shift to be tougher?
This is a culture shift.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Roberto. I mean, damn, bro.
It is what it is.
Football field, Ryan. Save it for the football field.
Yep.
No, that's not a joking matter, especially if it was.
No, it's not. It's terrible. Sounds like everything's going to be all right. They're probably super in love after that.
I mean, at first they said shoved, and I know battery sounds like a big deal, but in Florida, you know, like
battery is
it's actually the low charge is like you can just get battery for like touching somebody accidentally, even sometimes.
Yeah. If it was assault, there's a little different there. The fact that it was also in public, in front of people, you know, obviously there was a lot of screaming, shouting, and some grabbing, and the cops got called. You know, that's
that means
unfortunate.
it'll probably be on a cell phone posted eventually.
Yeah, maybe we'll get the footage of it, Color. Maybe you could scour. That would be great.
Ooh,
get that footage.
I'm sure somebody got it on their cell phone.
It's gotta be, bro. Gotta be a ring cam, something.
And I do watch all that stuff, so it'll come across my feed.
Yeah, we need to. If we get it, let us know. We'll post it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be somebody that can't copyright us.
Yeah.
Well, if it's somebody with a rando cell phone clip, they can't copyright that. So.
No, this is public domain, buddy.
The average person ain't gonna go contact a lawyer.
I thought I heard a beep. Is anybody backstage?
No, we got everybody up.
All right,
150 of you watching right now across all the platforms. If you're not on YouTube, come over here and give us a like and a subscribe, because we chop it up like this and we talk real. We work out our opinions through conversation about what's going on.
Yeah, it's not just
everybody gets upset because we throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, and everybody thinks we're making some kind of take that like we have to be held accountable. No, we're talking out what's going on with this organization today. Has Mike McDaniel changed the culture? And Chris Grier telling us we're in a soft reset. Latest breaking news: linebacker coach Ryan Crow has been arrested for battery in Fort Lauderdale, and is on administrative leave. So is that a sign of a culture change?
Yeah,
I had to ask. I hate to do that because it's.
I don't know, Color. It sounds kind of like the culture we got last year. Didn't Tyree get battery last year?
Right. Slapping somebody upside the head.
Yeah. Maybe they're not changing so much.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we can, if we hired that Miami-Dade police officer as a linebacker, we might get some tackles made.
Yeah. Oof.
Anyway, tell us what you think. I mean,
what's going on in chat?
I don't think that's gonna be a good thing for our linebacking crew. Finn's rule says Crow was fighting with a girl. Aqua says agrees with you. He's doing his best Tyreek impression.
Yep. Monkey see, monkey do.
And Finn's rule also says at least the sirens weren't for Tyreek.
If you were to look up Dolphins and battery, you wouldn't think it was one of the coaches. People would go, it was Tyreek.
But I bet you the cops didn't show up demanding his ID and chucking him on the ground and putting a knee in his back. I bet you that didn't happen.
Probably not. Did you see Tyreek?
How would a name like Ryan Crow? What's that? What was that, Cap?
Did you see Tyreek Hill's getting divorced?
Oh yeah. I think
Yeah.
mom pointed that out to me the other day.
Everyone saw that coming though.
Yeah.
I said, well, he's done spread his seed all over the place.
Yeah,
He's
he got,
good,
like,
man.
6 kids last year or something.
Yeah.
I think he's got 8 now.
He's got 420.
She just had a baby and she was pregnant again. She's pregnant again.
Wow.
She's staying.
And they're getting a divorce. What, did this happen after the first hearing or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
So they went and they told the judge they got irreconcilable differences, and then they went in the back and banged.
She got the Miami house, $500K, and then like I think it was
50 grand a month or something.
Yeah.
Show me some hard evidence, and I'll change my mind. You know what I mean? But I kind of like Tyreek, man.
I mean, listen, I don't necessarily. There's nothing to. I mean, you can disagree with the way in which he lives his life, and plenty of people are out on him because of that. I say that's his personal fucking business. Ain't got nothing to do with what I like about him on football field.
Banging the lady that they're literally divorcing while they're divorcing him. Like, you know
I mean, listen,
what a champ.
I don't know. I always left things in good standing with my exes too, Tyreek. I see a lot. You know, I always left it good standing with my ex. Never
this
divorced.
mission he's on to create a little army of Tyreeks, man, is just
I think it's brilliant.
admirable. I love it. I love it. I think it's how you roll. That's how you make a clan, bro.
That's it, dude. That's how we see, 3 or 4 different hills.
That's how 50 years from now, there's whole hill families that don't even know they're from Tyreek. You know what I mean?
That's right. I'm about it.
It's like 100 years from now, they're gonna be like, I've got official records that show I'm a descendant of Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you do it, man.
That's it.
Genghis Khan style, bro. You know, we're all 80% of us are from Genghis Khan.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, maybe not you. Maybe not. What I'm saying, Cap, is don't let your ethnicity or heritage or genetics fool you. You could still be from Genghis Khan, is what I'm saying.
No, it's 80% of Asians are Genghis Khan. Worldwide, it's different.
80% of the world population can be traced back to Genghis Khan, dude.
No, Color, look it up. You gotta go back and look it because that's not what it was.
I'm gonna, and y'all know I will correct myself if I'm wrong.
They have 80% in Asia, and I think it's the 80% they get a blue birthmark because that's what he had was a blue birthmark.
Really? That's crazy.
Yes, he had a blue birthmark, and 80% of
but you gotta figure that if it's 80% have the blue birthmark.
Well, I'm sure there's a world percentage,
but
especially taken into account.
What I'm saying is,
like 2% or something.
What I'm saying is, if 100% of the 80% have the blue birthmark, then there are still some more people that are from him that don't have the blue birthmark.
Of course. I'm sure there's a percentage that doubles off
because of the recessive genes of not having the blue birthmark. Right.
Exactly.
So as we so astutely point out all the time here at the Fins Tailgate,
fleshing out the idea.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I've been waiting to use a meme for a long time, and it just like
I know I gotta.
It's like finding a trade. It's like finding a stock trade. You sometimes you gotta go for years before you find the right moment, dude.
I gotta get some new ones and recycle in some new ones.
What's up, Crypto?
Mic check.
What's up, Crypto?
Anybody
what
hear
up,
me?
Crypto? What's going on, Crypto?
What up?
I'm guessing Crypto can't hear us. Color, did you find out the numbers on the Genghis Khan? Are we all related or what?
No, I'm going to do deeper research on it, but I will get back and correct myself.
Look up the blue birthmark.
Can you guys hear me?
Khan, and yeah, we can hear you, Crypto. We've been hearing you.
We can hear you. Huh. We might not be listening, but we can hear you.
But you can't hear
What do you guys actually take on the Tyreek situation though? Currently, we're like he hasn't practiced what seems like in like months almost, but then he's out here doing all these like workout videos on social media all the time.
I would say going right up to my earlier theory of You just need Tyreek Hill to be honest, right? Routes, concepts. He knows the offense. You're going to do them with these twin drag routes, these low crossers, slants, stuff like that. And every now and again, you're going to catch them, in coverage, and him and Tua can look at each other, and he goes deep downfield. That's you're going to use him to what he does. That's it. All you need to do is get him enough targets.
Purposely see the offense without Tyreek, or do you think he might be secretly on the trade block?
I would say purposely they're strengthening the offense to be without him, but not because of any other reason. It's not any slight against Tyreek. It is to trade him. But on the way of getting traded,
supposing that the world is falling apart, supposing that the world is ending at that point, yes, like your earlier take, Roberto. If we're bad, if we're 2-9 at the trade deadline, then yeah,
I don't even think that matters, because Tyreek isn't going to be here next year. He knows it. Everyone knows it. And what Tyreek wants to have is that money next year. And if he's smart,
but if we're okay, but hold on, Cap. If we're competing, right? And let's say we're finding out while we're competing that Malik Washington is perfectly fine for us to live without Tyreek. Are we really going to do that in the middle of a season where we're competing and try to convince everybody that we're still going to actually compete the rest of the season? Like, that wouldn't make sense. If we're competing this year at some point at the trade deadline, you know what I mean? Yeah, Malik might be good, but we're not going to let Tyreek go. We're going to keep him for the run.
Yeah, but there's like no way he's on the team next year. Or at least not on the salary.
Right. I got you there. Yeah.
Again, there's no way he's on the team next year.
How much?
And then secondly, he's going to want to get a bag, whether it's from the Dolphins or somebody else, and it ain't going to be the Dolphins. And he's going to be gone, and he wants to get a bag. You can help him and help yourself by trading him, and by getting more for his trade by using the shit out of him the first 8 weeks of the season.
And anybody that thinks he's slowed down, anybody in the league, any general managers that think anybody that thinks he's lost a step or anything, all he has to do in any interview is throw the Dolphins under the bus.
Again, but he's got some damage control stuff to take care of too, with the off-field shit.
All I'm saying is, if he's faced with GMs throughout the league saying, "Well, we don't like what we saw in Miami," all he's got to do is throw us under the bus behind closed doors.
But that's usually not how it goes, because they're not.
He'd be like, "Oh, they stuck down
there."
No.
Color. A team at the negotiation table against Tyreek, whether they care or not, they're going to use those things to bring his value down to pay him. Okay? And they're going to use those things to bring down the value to pay the Dolphins to get him.
Right, but what I'm saying is
there's at least one
team hold on. There's at least one team in the league that would be fooled by by Tyreek saying, "Well, you can't believe that the Dolphins I was gonna ever do anything for them."
Of course, potentially, but they're not. I'm
talking about as far as the discipline issues go. Because if a team wants to get Tyreek and they still believe he's a superstar, that belief only exists as long as he's putting in the work, as long as he's disciplined.
I would say every team still believes Tyreek is a superstar that they would like to have on their team.
But if they're seeing that he's not being disciplined down in Miami, and that superstar means nothing to them because he's not a disciplined player.
Again, disciplined, superstar, all that set aside, they're going to want to not pay him what they don't need to pay him. Right now,
saying whatever reasons they throw at him, he can just throw us under the bus and say it was because of the culture in Miami.
But
that's what we are talking about today, right?
I got that, but in that same aspect, teams are not going to they'll never respect a player who throws the team under the bus. They're not. Why would they invite that vampire in?
I bet you the Ravens would. John Harbaugh is
it's unfathomable.
John Harbaugh has the least amount of class than any coach in this league, bro. He runs up the score on everybody. He blatantly insults people like with his play calling and the way he does things.
So again, I'm not saying it's unfathomable or not possible. What I'm saying is it's not a good negotiation tactic for Tyreek Hill to have potential baggage to be brought to the table
No,
to
it's
use
not
it to leverage
generally.
him.
No, I agree with you. Generally speaking, that if you come to me and say, "Hey, I'm a good whatever," and don't believe what happened at the last place I would not respect that either. But if I'm like a logical thinker and a guy that don't give a crap about all that, it's like, yeah, you're probably right. Miami, you kind of, nobody believes.
I'm not saying it can't be implied and or used. What I'm saying
in other words,
is
I'm not gonna assume you're gonna have discipline problems here, because we have said
we're
it
not
before.
Miami. I got you.
We have said it before that players don't perform when they're in a place they don't want to be. Look at Jalen Ramsey. I guarantee you Jalen Ramsey is going to be a star in Pittsburgh, dude. Guarantee. He's going to be right back to his regular Jalen Ramsey self.
And we've seen plenty of
I would agree
players.
with that. I would agree.
But my point is, at the minimum, he could truly benefit by playing extremely well, heading before the trade deadline, and getting traded out of Miami, and now having all of that good stats to erase the off-field issues, to erase the I want to get out of here and I'm not 1,000 yards at the end of the season. And that also, you got to remember that it's not just the players and or the coaches and organizations that got to buy whatever you're selling. It's the fans.
Right, but
So
isn't that a
all
PR
of that-
nightmare for the Dolphins? Like, let's say what you're saying is correct, right? And Tyreek's going off at the start of the year, right? And then you trade him at week 7. Like, the fans are going to be mad as hell.
Yeah, but they've already said
If
they're
we're
doing a soft reset.
If we're competing, but both things can happen. He could ball out, get 2,000
Grier
yards,
already said soft reset.
and we can still be 3-14.
Listen, Chris Grier already said soft reset. If the fans freak out the next time he's at the podium, we said soft reset.
Exactly.
I agree with what you're saying, but I have a hard time believing like there's a world where Tyreek is going off and we're losing games.
But that's the best time to sell. Because you know he's not going to be here next year.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Color, what's the definition of the definition?
The definition of the definition.
Shit or get off the pot. That's the definition of the definition.
Well, that is one of the several logical fallacies. Defining a word with itself.
Yeah, it's an adjective to a noun. It's an adjective to a noun.
So when he says
the only
reset,
the only word you can define using itself is a square.
Damn.
Yeah, because a square is a rectangle, and but not all rectangles are squares.
Yep, not all rectangles are squares. Yep,
but a square is a rectangle. So
definitely a rectangle,
in order to define a square, you have to say it is a rectangle with 4 equal linear sides.
Yep.
Or you can call them a square because they're nerds.
Literally defining you're defining the word with itself.
That will be the inside definition, Cap. That will be the definition of the definition.
That's the definition. Inside the definition is that you're a square, and it's like, no, I'm not. You're like, no, it's your nerd. You're a square.
Literally a square.
Bro, I had these boomers. I had these boomers on this job site ready to go to blows with me over that square rectangle thing, Cap. They were so certain square was not a rectangle. They're like, but a rectangle looks like this, and a square. I'm like, come on, man, it's about.
But you can make, but you can make a rectangle have two sides.
Cap. Here's what they couldn't understand.
How do you do it without taking away one side, though, Cap?
Cap, what they couldn't understand was the semantics involved. Okay. A rectangle is defined as a polygon with 4 right angles. That's it. A square fits that definition.
But not a rectangle.
But not the rectangle.
No. A rectangle is a polygon with 4 right angles. That's all it is.
Yeah, but a square is all equal sides.
Yes. So
That's how
it
you
would be
make a square.
defined, right. So it's defined as a rectangle with 4 equal linear sides. It is, in
Well,
fact,
that
a
would be the
rectangle.
square. Yes. But the rectangle itself without the 4 would be
It's not
4 unequal sides.
necessarily a square. Correct. It's not
Right.
necessarily a square. Right. But they couldn't understand
I would say
that
the lesson
concept.
here is don't be a square, be a
Couldn't grasp
rectangle.
that to the point where they
Be a
were ready to
rectangle.
fight me. They were ready to fight me for being a wise ass, bro.
How many squares in the Dolphins organization? That's the real question.
The funny
There's
thing
definitely
is,
one at the front of it.
the funny thing is, the most reserved carpenter on the job. The next day, the argument started back up, right? And he never gets involved in any arguments. And he gets down off his ladder because he'd been listening to this shit for 2 days. And he yelled at everybody. He's like, enough already. I've been listening to this for 2 days. I went and looked it up last night. Chris is right. Shut them all up, dude. I'm like, thank you, bro. Thank you. I have never talked to that dude since that day, but that is a friend of mine, bro. He is part of my apocalypse team if I ever come across him. You know what I mean?
He got down from his step ladder and like, oh yeah, I gotta
everybody up is like, I've had enough. I've been listening to this for 2 days straight. I went and looked it up. Color's right.
He had to settle it once and for all, man.
Mm-hmm.
He settled that one.
Yeah, he hit his breaking point. He's like, I'm reserved. I'm stoic. I was taught to just keep your mouth shut with shit that don't involve you. You know what I mean? And
so
he just had enough, man.
So is Chris Grier the square Capitan? That who is the obtuse triangle?
Brian Flores.
Right. Flores will be the obtuse triangle.
It begs the question, though, Crypto, at the quantum level, is it possible with hidden spaces and all that nonsense and extra dimensions? Is it possible to have a rectangle or to have a rectangle, which is a polygon with 4 equal linear sides? I mean, which is a polygon with 4 right angles. But is it possible to have that without all the angles being connected? You know what I mean?
Oh,
like if you drew it a different way with different spatial dimensions, you could have a polygon with 4 right angles and it wouldn't look like a rectangle.
So you're saying like in a 4th dimension, like a different dimension, not
like
a 3rd dimension.
These oblong, these crazy shapes that they come up with if we had 14 dimensions or whatever, you know what I mean? Hidden spaces and all that, you know. Different pathways for the line to take.
But what if it disappears in this dimension and in the pocket universe it reconnects?
Right, exactly. Where's the angle at?
Right.
3 of the angles are in our universe, and 1 of the angles is in the other universe.
It's in another universe, pocket universe, right?
To us, it looks like a triangle.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of who was that guy on the DC Marvel, the Doctor Strange, who's making these portals and he's got all kinds of things interconnecting because he threw a wormhole into it and part of your body's in another dimension and another one's in another dimension.
You sure that wasn't because I know what's that Rick and Morty does that a lot with the different consequences of different dimensions and all that. They do that a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a possibility part of your anatomy could be in another dimension, another one. Well, that explains consciousness and dreams then, because we all go to a 4th dimension.
Well, I mean,
technically we are in 2 dimensions at one time. We
didn't even know at one point in human history, we didn't even know that we had bacteria swimming around in our body.
Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, we wasn't aware of it.
So that's part of our anatomy that was unknown to us at one point. So given the number of different things that we have realized are part of our anatomy, the mathematical probability of us having anatomy in parts of the universe we can't perceive is pretty high. Like we literally could be connected in some way with our anatomy to another universe or another part of our universe that we can't perceive.
That we can't perceive in this universe until we go unconscious. Well, not
There's
unconscious.
absolutely no reason to postulate that because it's completely unfalsifiable. But if you want to just talk in metaphysics, then yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the Dolphins are playing 3-dimensional chess.
Because the second it becomes known to us, it becomes part of our universe anyway. Just like the bacteria swimming around in our body before we knew it was there was in a whole universe that we had no access to. Once we invented the microscope, we had access to that universe. Now it's part of our universe. The very small.
Yeah, the small. Yeah. We're now aware.
We didn't even know that universe existed or that was part of our universe. That was a hidden dimension until we invented the microscope.
Yeah, it was hidden from the naked eye. It was hidden.
Right.
It was there.
So people make it more complicated than it is. What Einstein and all these people postulate is that there may be hidden dimensions still that we still aren't aware of.
Yeah.
Hidden spaces is what it is, not necessarily dimensions. Like different directions that the line could take that you're drawing on your paper in geometry class that we're not aware of.
Right.
Different pathways.
Yeah. We got the axis, the Y, X, Z.
Right. We only have 3 pathways: length, width, height, or length, width, depth, and then a dimension of time played out across a dimension of time.
Right. And the time is only the space between 2 points.
Right. So it's actually, we live in a 3-dimensional world. We call it 3 plus 1, not 4-dimensional. 3 dimensions of space plus 1 of time.
Plus, yeah. To get to the 5th and higher dimensions, you have to go beyond that. Our own consciousness.
It's really just a matter of another pathway or another way to measure something. Crypto is what the dimension is. Because what is a dimension? A dimension is just a measurement.
Yeah, different pathway.
Like a scale measurement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can classify it as a different pathway.
So really, what else could there be but length, width, and depth?
That's what I'm saying. Anything beyond that has to be on our own perception of reality at that point.
Right, but that's when people start to mix the word dimension with universe. They think that they're synonymous. You know what I mean? Like when we talk about the 5th dimension, it's as if it's a place you can go to, like another universe. No, that's another universe. Yeah. A dimension is just a way to measure something, like a way to perceive something.
Yeah. Yeah. Because anything beyond what we see,
whether you perceive the height, whether you perceive the depth, whether you perceive all of them, what other else could there be? Like length, width, depth, and what?
Yeah, other than that, yeah, you can't go beyond that. That's because that's our perception.
Well, if there is another pathway, crypto, besides length, width, or depth, then it's hidden to us. It deviates to a different space that we're not aware of.
Then you're defining supernatural.
Right. Or you're right. You're defining outside of the known universe. And the moment we observe it and prove it's there,
it's no longer supernatural. It's natural at that point.
Right, exactly.
It becomes natural.
When people talk about multiverse, no, it's still just one universe, because if there is a bunch of universes, it's still one big universe. Universe is defined as all that we know.
Yeah. So anything
so
that
the moment we become aware of multiverses,
they're no longer
back to one universe with different dimensions.
Right. Unless we can't access it in our own
the
plane.
Word the prefix uni means one.
Yeah, all encompassing. Yeah.
You can't have multiple universes, or they would cease to be universes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It has to be outside of the uni.
Now, Sagan, apparently this is where Sagan comes in, and he defined what we're talking about, the multiverse landscape, as separate from our universe. And he coined the term cosmos, to describe that, cosmology, because it encompasses anything that's possible. And then our universe becomes isolated and singular against the background of the cosmos.
Yeah. And in multiples that's what makes the multiverse.
Right. The multiverse would be the cosmos in Sagan's language.
Mm-hmm. And any multiple of outside of our own singular.
And even our own singular, but on the scale of observing it all at once would be cosmology. Like if we could grow to be big enough to see our universe as one little dot, that would be cosmology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so crypto, I don't know what to do. I got a hammer candle and an engulfing candle right after. Do I go long here or what? The problem is it's still trading below its freaking 200 moving average. So like I don't want to do it until it's over that average line.
You said the hammer is after the engulfing
No,
candle?
it started with a swing low created with a hammer candle. And then about 5 candles later, it went down a little bit, and now it's got a green engulfing candle. Like that's that's
the green
bullish, right?
Color Cap said to check your text messages.
What timeline? What timeline you using for the candle?
On the 5 minute chart.
Oh, okay. It says 5 minute chart. I'm gonna say anything within 5 minutes, more than 50% of the engulfing candle, if it's supported by a large volume spike, then yes, you go all in.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, crypto, it's all these are showing up still below its 200, which it just crossed the other day.
That would mean it's a pattern reversal.
Or actually, it crossed earlier today. So I'm
above the 200.
So I think it's close enough.
That's why I say the hammer candle is basically showing that that's exhaustion at the bottom.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to assume it's turning bullish and just wait till it crosses and retests that 200, and then I'll go in there. Boom.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you want to jump ahead of the curve, see,
that's why I'm in a bad way in my evaluation because I keep front running shit crypto and losing.
Right. If you want to get ahead of that curve, you can gain some extra percentage points on entry.
I think I'm going to be patient this time, man.
Oh no, yeah, it doesn't hurt to be patient because you can let things play out a little bit. That way you don't have to have too much.
The thing of it is, I'd only be missing out on a little bit because even if I get in later and catch the move is going to retrace the last 24 hours of tanking, bro. So it'll be a big move to the upside anyway. I don't have to get in at the absolute bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what the good thing about the hammer, because you have that long wick that forms the bottom part of the hammer. That means you have that exhaustion of those sell orders. They're coming back up to form that hammer head. Hence, if it's followed by that engulfing candle that's more than 50% with volume, that's the strength. That's the signal of that hammer. Else it'd be a failed signal if you have volume behind that hammer.
Right.
So it'll be what they call a failed signal.
I also look at the volume profile because if it shows all the volume was traded at the top end of the spectrum, then I know it. Then I definitely know it's going to go back to that zone.
Right. And the only thing about it, I don't know if you heard the dojis or the shooting star, the upside down one. That acts almost like a hammer too.
It can, but it's supposed to act the other way for a short. You know what I mean? But it doesn't always. It's like sometimes it'll be like
the other one. For the shooting star, you're definitely gonna have a gap that you got.
Well, what happens is it'll form a shooting star and go up instead of down because the shooting star is just signifying the exhaustion of the pullback. You know what I mean?
Right. That means a lot of people, it's a short squeeze is what happens.
Right. So on a certain time frame, that shooting star doesn't mean go down. It just means it's going to stop going up or it's going to stop pulling back.
Right. That means you just got it. It's going to free flow. Then you're going to have what they call a trading range is about to happen at that point.
Consolidation, yeah.
Yeah, consolidation is about to start happening, which could be good if you're going to go in long term and make it a long.
Well, it's good if you decide what they're doing. Are they consolidating for a continued move, or are they consolidating for a reversal? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could do that, but then you have the head and shoulders will form out of that.
That's when you look to other indicators, right? Of course.
Mhm.
But yeah.
So
It's
yeah, that
oil.
engulfing.
It's
That's
oil,
one
by
thing
the
I
way.
do like about the candlesticks. That in that way, it tells a lot about the psyche of the time.
Yeah,
period.
you're watching the battle between the bulls and bears go on, play out right on the candle.
Right on the candle, right there.
Candle is showing you.
It's one of the strongest indicators. That's why I use that a lot with the chart when it comes to technical analysis.
Yeah, so this is oil, by the way. I'm trading micro
oil, okay, futures, oil futures, okay. Yeah, and it's good when you got a lot of liquidation, highly liquid markets like that. It's real good when you have a highly liquid market.
Dude, it is so down right now. Like on the long term, on the medium to long term, oil is so oversold right now, bro. It's unreal, man.
Yeah. It was kind of like in 2013 when it almost went negative. The oil futures went negative.
Right. And at about a month ago, it was sitting oversold, okay, at on a pullback from a recent upswing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I got in at I think I might have used the 5.0 on that one and got in there at the 61 level. You know what I mean? And that thing, dude, that thing went down like, bro, like, if you had,
candle,
bro, I had two micro contracts and it dropped like 1,500 in value in like 30 minutes, bro.
Barney, real quick, less than an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Retrace the entire head, bro. And it's been trading, it's been consolidating and kind of going lower since then.
That's crazy when you have candles that could do that
right now. It's unreal, bro. Like if somebody had big money and was on the day chart, bro, like you could get in right now and make some bank over the next.
So the RSI is probably below 20 and 10.
On the day chart, it's got to be. I mean, I haven't looked at it, but it's got to be like
it's got to
be below like the 90% level or something.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be real low. You're at that magical line, then, well, you can buy at any moment during that point, especially when it's oversold that way. You could just say, hey, I'll throw in the contract here and there, and you just sit on it.
Just wait for that hammer on the daily chart, dude.
Yep. You could just collect it on the way up. Yeah. You sit there and wait for that the RSA charts.
You don't even have to have a precise entry at that point. You could just be like, wake up in the morning and get in,
Just get in, right. Yeah, you don't have to have a precise entry. Yep. You just say, okay, I'll buy one contract here, sit on it, buy another one tomorrow. You just sit on the contract.
If it immediately goes up big on you, like add to it. Don't let it go.
Yeah.
What's up?
CB83.
Link is pinned, CB. If you got anything to say, I know you don't like to. You like to big time us these days. You don't like to come on the tailgate, I know, but we're being civil. We ain't hating all over Tua or nothing anymore. It ain't like that anymore, man.
CB's he's depressed. The Tua's going to get cut on Friday. That's probably why.
Come up and tell us what you got planned for the season, man. Over at Things Take with CB83. I still believe in you, bro. I still believe in your show, man. I still think
and Batman's going to have that 24-hour space
setup of anybody with all the liquor and all that behind you. It's gold, man. It's gold. I told you that at the beginning.
CB, Batman, and Pete going to have a 24-hour space on Tua's fate.
You know what CB83 needs to do to make his channel pop off?
Yeah.
He needs to go with that whole theme that he's got. It's pinned in the chat, CB83. But
it's in the chat.
Yeah, it's pinned. But I'll post it again for people that don't understand how to use the YouTubes. Anyway,
yeah.
But I'm thinking like with his setting and his atmosphere, his ambiance, what he's trying to go for that his show, like make it about like culture or
It's like the
society or
Lions Den.
politics
It's like
or something.
a den.
Just chill and talk about anything in that setting, bro. That shit would pop right off, dude.
What's the name with chat with what's his name? Is that does it that little show that they do with the Steeler guy, him and the show that they do. They sitting there in the leather chairs.
Oh yeah. There's a couple. There's with the one with Fred Taylor and the boys. There's that one.
Fred Taylor's one of them. Yep, Fred Taylor's one of them. Yep.
I Am Athlete.
Yeah, that's I Am Athlete.
It could still be sports related, but something like less centric,
that kind of
vibe.
vibe.
I mean, a little more chill and just talk. Like it's just a chill setting, and it's appealing to people. The reason it hasn't popped off is because the algorithm is putting it in front of Dolphin fans.
Ryan Clark is
and
one.
Dolphin fans ain't the most
guy.
sophisticated people in the world. CBA.
Yeah,
let's face it.
Brandon Marshall came on that show too. He used to be on there. Yeah, Brian Clark.
Omar was on it once, wasn't he?
Yeah, Omar was on there.
Flores episode.
Yeah, Flores actually had an appearance on that show. Yeah, Brian Flores actually came on there. Yep. Yeah, have that little thing, and Mike Tomlin was there. Was one of their guests. They was talking. Yeah, CB can have the high back chairs and the wine in the background. Yeah, have it like not a smoke lounge, but more like a bar.
Well, he's got a lot of liquor behind him, but he could have like a weekly segment where he brings Shake on to talk about wine or something. You know what I mean? Or
yep.
What's up, man? How's it going, CB?
Yep, there it goes.
Long time no hear, bro. I don't even remember what your voice sounds like.
You driving?
Oh, stop!
Sounds like Draymond Green.
Stop it! You flatter me, Color. You flatter me.
No, he sounds like Draymond Green. All you have to do is listen to Draymond Green.
Oh, stop it! What's going on, guys? How you guys doing today, man?
Pretty good. We're resigned. I think we're at the right.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me fine? Or
yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Matter of fact, let me go get me.
So I think
I think
we have. I think this whole thing that we've been watching for the past 5 seasons has struck a balance. Finally, CB83. There's nothing left but football. Win or lose.
All we can do is play at this point.
Yeah, and that's all it's ever been.
I mean, and honestly, I mean, today, Color, about fan base and the people who are for Tua or against Tua. I think at this point, I mean, it is what it is. We got Tua this year. Let's just go out here and play football. Let's see what.
Yeah. Like I've said every year, CB83, as long as they're going to let the man put on a jersey, I mean, I got to hope he gets better. I got to expect him to get better, and I got to root for him to get better. You know what I mean? But
I mean, and Color, that's what I do respect about you. I don't think you've ever had like ill will or hard feelings against Tua. It's just you never really believed in him, which
and thus far still have not been convinced. That doesn't mean that one day it's just like what makes me an atheist, CB83. I'm not an anti-theist. I just thus far have not been convinced. Does that mean that 50 years goes by that I couldn't be convinced? Of course I could be. Another 10 years could go by and Tua could finally convince me. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too, man. I mean, at this point, we kind of got the roster we got. I mean, I'm excited. I'm just excited about watching football again because the offseason drags. There's nothing really to watch sometimes. Basketball season just isn't what it used to be. So I'm excited for football to be back, man. Even college.
Like I said, all that's left now is football. So when we're talking throughout the season, this year, and we're talking about this is what we're doing to try to win and all that, we're not talking about whether we're gonna or not. We're simply saying this is what we have to do, and if our guys can do it, the more they can do it, the more we can trust them year over year.
What's your thoughts on Tua this season? Do you think he has a good year, or do you think he struggles?
I mean,
It
I think
depends
it's
if
just
that
going to be the
Borum guy's
same,
playing
bro.
right
It's
tackle.
going to be literally the same. And because of the roster construction and things being more potential based on potential this year, I've been relegated to just predict 2-9 at the bye, bro. I'm not trying to be negative or anything. I'm just simply trying to be real. You know, like if
So you
if
think?
we
So
find
you think?
ourselves at 9-2 at the bye, I'm not going to be upset over it, bro. You know what I
But
mean?
you think we're gonna
Right.
be 2-9 at the bye color? That's pretty extreme.
Even if Tua was the guy, okay. Remember, in 1988, bro, we still had the Marx brothers. We had Marino. We, we didn't pick up Webb and Sims yet, but we still were. Point is, we went 6-10. Just because they didn't tell us we were resetting doesn't mean we weren't.
I don't know, man.
I,
We play a lot of bad teams at the start of the year.
I think color. I would take it more seriously if we didn't play a bunch of bad quarterbacks. I feel like the Miami Dolphins play
All
some
of which
bad.
have just as much potential of getting better that I'm honestly admitting Tua has.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, I think that's fair. Quarterbacks can definitely get better, but I think we do play some quarterbacks who have struggled in the NFL early in the year, and I feel like that should work to our advantage because when it comes to defense, right? I feel like our defense struggles against really good quarterback play. And I feel like that'll be the difference in some of these games and creating turnovers and putting
Giving
pressure
our
on
offense more
guys.
chances, right?
Yeah. Just giving us more chances, right? I mean, and that's what it comes down to. I feel like the more chances we have on offense, the more opportunities we have to get it right.
Well, that goes as a given for even a bad team. I mean, if you're going to let a bad team in the NFL continue to have offensive possessions, they're going to make you pay for it, even
At
if
some
they're a
point,
bad
right?
team. They're all
Yeah.
professionals. You know what I mean?
Right. At some point, they got to make you pay.
The interesting thing
Go
with
ahead.
the schedule, right, is historically under McDaniel's, like, we've been very bad on the road. And this year we play all the bad teams on the road and, like, all the good teams at home. So I'm curious how that's
Right.
going to play out.
And I was having that conversation too. It's like we usually play really good teams on the road, and we struggle in those games. Good teams on the road are good teams on the road, bro. Like you don't have the advantage being on the road by itself alone.
Yeah, it's
So
hard enough. It's
it's
hard
hard
enough to beat a
enough.
bad team in their stadium. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's hard enough to beat a bad team in their stadium. When you got a good team in their stadium, damn, you got the whole world against you, bro. So and with us playing,
You've been there. You've been there in our stadium where I'm sure where during a win where it's like the defense, you know, chopped wood and got it done and you've been in
yeah,
those crowds where like you can
yeah,
literally feel like you are helping them
Oh,
get
yeah.
it
You've
done.
seen
you do.
quarterbacks have to take timeouts and stuff at the line on some of those third downs because the
Well, even
stadium's loud.
besides the obvious stuff, it's like you as in the crowd, when you all are sitting there roaring and somebody hits a fumble or gets a sack and
And
it's just like
you feel
the
everything deflate out
energy
of the
just
other
is
team.
it's like a continuum. It's like
Yeah,
feeding. It's like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
as if we're all down there right with them, giving them the energy that's coming out of our roars
yeah.
and cheers. You know what I mean?
And that's why I just have a hard time with us
It's like
being
visualization. I'm sorry, CB83. It's like visualization. Enough people visualizing something. There's people that
almost
believe that makes it real. That makes reality. You know what I mean?
right, almost like manifesting a win. Like
Right, right.
right.
It's
You're
like
like
there ain't no way they're getting this first down, run, and then they end up getting sacked or something, and you're just like,
exactly.
we just
Yeah,
won the game because of this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
For me, like, I don't see like how the Dolphins can end up 2-9 unless Tua gets hurt. Then like anything's on the table.
Part of it's
Like,
part of it is being facetious. I get it, but it's
So
also
all
just
right.
saying, hey,
So you say
this
2
is
and
what
9,
I'm
Keller.
trying to say is this is how low my expectations are.
No, I get you. I
So
feel you. I'm a pessimist
nobody
with
can
you too.
accuse me down the road of saying, "Oh, you said we were going to be this and that," and you know what I mean.
All right,
I
now
actually think
question
worst
for
case scenario is like everything breaks our way this season, and maybe we get lucky and play like a backup quarterback in
And
a playoff game.
right,
And
the
then
other
like
thing, Roberto. The other thing, Roberto, is I have no interest in predicting 9-8, bro, or 8-9.
right.
That's stupid to me to make that prediction. Everybody's 8-9 if you're not 3-14 or 4-14-3. You know what I mean? So there's
No,
no
you're right.
point in
now
making that
question for you,
prediction. If
Keller.
I think we're a good team, I'm going to say we're a 12-win team. If I think we're a bad team, I think I'm going to say we're a 2-win team. There is no. I'm not going to make
But
it's just a principle for me. I'm not going to make the prediction of 8-9 or 9-8.
now my question for you is this, Keller. So if you say 2 and 9, like if you were to
2-9
say,
at the
hey, this is
bye. That means we can still eke
yeah,
out 8-9. So that's my
right.
point.
But what's better? What's a better case scenario for you? If what's the opposite of that to you?
9-2 at the bye.
Okay, so
Um,
9 and 2 at the bottom.
their best case scenario, like if the season went perfect, right? I think like 11 or 12 wins is like the team's maximum potential if everything went right for them.
Well,
Yeah, I think I think 12
I've
wins.
said this plenty of times throughout the seasons. If we're 9-2 at the bye this year, CB83, based on our roster construction and how much younger talent we got and whatever else and unknowns, if we're 9-2 at the bye, I think I could probably trust that at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like that we could actually compete later in the year, like because we're not
Yeah,
getting
because you beat
9-2
some.
without playing good football, bro. We're just
Yeah, you
not.
gotta play. You gotta beat some
There's
good
no
football
name
teams.
recognition on this roster other than Tyreek that's gonna that's got a war number of that's gonna make us no. If we're 9-2, it's because we're playing really good football, bro.
Like I don't even care what the record is, honestly. Like if they go into that week 3 primetime game versus the Bills on the road and get shellacked, like I'm literally out on
Well,
them.
what
the
I
season.
guess let me go further since y'all were talking about the quality of quarterback at the beginning of the big first part of the year. If we're 4-0 or 4-1 or 3-2 or 5-2, I don't trust that still. You can
Yeah,
get
right.
that
No, I'm with
without
you.
good
Yeah.
football. You can't get 9-2 at the bye without playing good football with this roster.
Let's see. What's our first 10 games? You got Colts should win. Patriots should win. The Bills you're probably gonna lose, but you need to be competitive.
Coaching can get you a good start. Coaching can get you a 4-1 start with a bad team. You know what I mean? You're playing good football with a bad team if you're 9-2 at the bye. There's no other way to do it. They don't just give us wins. If you're winning with a team like we have right now, and you're 9 wins to 2 losses, that's real. That's like real good football.
So if we get to 9 and 2 by the bye, do you see us being Super Bowl contenders at that point?
By default, we would have to be. Inherently, we would have to be.
Yeah, because you have some
because of the roster we have right now. We can all sit here and go through either what we've lost or the fact that what we've gained is an unknown. Good potential, but an unknown. That's like our whole roster, except for Waddle, Tua, Tyreek, and
Minka,
yeah. But you know what I'm saying, CB83.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way out. There's no way to 9 wins and 2 losses at the bye without playing really
They would
good
have had to
football.
have beaten 2 of the Bills, Ravens, Commanders, and Chargers for them to possibly be 9-2.
If you're talking about 2023's roster, you could get to 9-2 and still not be a Super Bowl contender. You know how I know? Because that's almost what we did.
What was our record that year when we threw 11 games?
We were 95%, bro. We were 95% to win the division that year, bro.
We were 9-3. Damn.
At week 11, we were 95% to win the division, dude. Before we lost to Tennessee.
Yeah, that Tennessee is when the wheels fell off.
95% to win the division at that point. We dropped to like 60.
And I was at
just
that
from
game.
losing that game. And then we barely even made the playoffs. We made the playoffs. We clinched the playoffs by beating Dallas in that Monday night game.
And that was only good enough to get us the 6th seed that year.
Right.
Yeah, we still fell. We fell from the possible
they
1
now.
to 6.
See, people don't look at the nuance CB83 because we want to believe that things happen, right? It's our team. But if you think about being 90, hold on, real quick. If you think about a team being 95% to win the division in week 11, and then barely making the playoffs, okay, that's almost as epic a collapse as the Atlanta Falcons against the Patriots, dude. But nobody would see it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you think about it. Yeah, it is about the same because they have about 95% chance to win that game going into the fourth quarter. Yeah. That's about the same collapse, yeah.
But we don't want to say it like that because we have to admit that, damn, we really fucked up that year. You know what I mean? However it happened, we fucked up, bro. Let's be real.
I think our probability went up for the first time, went upside down when Buffalo had that punt return for a touchdown. That was the first time where we didn't have a greater than 50% chance to win the division. The last game of the seasons when we finally went below 50% chance to win the division. That's crazy.
And then we were only like 60 to even make the playoffs.
Right. That was crazy. We was in the high 90s and 80s all the way up for 17 games in how many quarters? 2 quarters?
Right.
16 games in 2 quarters.
Now, another one to our positive side that's just as epic a failure would be the fact that we were 14% to beat the Bills the last time we beat them at Hard Rock, that 21-19 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Alan Short.
We were 14% chance to win that game when the game started.
When it started, yeah. But we went above 50 in that game. I remember on the when Josh Allen threw the ball into the ground.
But Crypto, when they kicked the field goal and Josh Allen and we punted back to Josh Allen after they kicked the field goal, and they had that one drive, right? When we punted the ball, they went back up to like 70% to win that game, even though they were down in the score.
Oh, yeah, on that last – you're talking about before the last drive.
I was following the graph throughout the game. Like, just because they kicked the field goal, which brought it within 4 points or whatever, or 3 points or whatever, okay, and then we got the ball back, and we went 3 and out and punted back to them or something like that.
Yeah.
At that moment we punted, it went back to them like 70-something% to win the game.
It swung to them again.
And then we saw what happened. Josh Allen ran out of gas and threw that little Tua pass.
He threw the fork ball into the dirt. He was practicing
Tua pass. Let's call it.
Hey guys, I gotta run real quick.
Hey, that's okay. We're about to shut it down anyway. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Don't be a stranger, man.
All right, thanks. All right,
TB. We'll see you around, TB.
You got anything going on this season, bro? You gonna just fire it up when
Dolphins. Hey, Dolphins nightcap. Dolphins.
Right as he entered the dead zone, man. That's why he had to go.
Hey, my bad. Hey,
there you go.
Dolphins nightcap every Wednesday night, and then I'm gonna start going live twice a week. So come check me out. Man.
Right on, man. We'll do that. Get over to the CB83's channel. That's Finn's Take with CB83 on YouTube. Subscribe. Do me a favor. Do me a solid and subscribe to his channel. But that being said, we're gonna probably wrap it up here. Appreciate Roberto coming by and hanging with us this afternoon, and Crypto, of course, is all.
Roberto, you going to the game?
Yeah, season tickets. I'm at every game that's home.
Yes, at home. Okay, so you'll be obviously at the Charger game. That's when I'll be able to see you there.
The one that I'm considering not going to maybe is the Jets Monday night, because I drive from Vero Beach, so I hate the Monday night games personally, because it's a nightmare traffic wise. But if they're releasing those new jerseys, like, I got to go to that game.
Yeah, you got to go.
I didn't renew
I'm about to order mine in a couple minutes.
I didn't
Pre-order.
renew my season tickets, and I really wasn't planning on giving them any money this year.
I don't blame you.
Roberto. But if we're doing
You
all right,
gotta feel
I feel
bad.
like it, and I feel like it that week. If you don't end up going to that game, I can probably get you some compensation for those tickets.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that could work out probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times, because I buy them for my dad usually, but sometimes he doesn't want to go to like
Right on.
the Jets games and stuff because he doesn't like Jets fans. So yeah, I might have some tickets I can give out this year.
Yeah.
So
if everything goes well, I can make it twice to Miami this year. But I'm definitely going to the Chargers game.
Yeah.
So we are gonna find out what our culture's like going forward, I guess. And
like I said, that week 3 game is gonna tell me everything I need to know about this team.
Yep, I guess that's at which point we'll find out what the quiet part is, Roberto. You know what I mean?
What does the definition of rebuild mean?
Right.
What's the definition of the definition? That's what I want to know.
But we're gonna know if we're like, yeah, I guess the definition of rebuild, right? If it's a true teardown or like they actually changed something and they're not the same team anymore.
I think cap reset probably would have been better verbiage.
Yeah.
Hey, it's money issues,
money problems. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing for them to come out and say because, like, the only player that they have to look at paying really right now is maybe Phillips if, like, you want to invest in him, which is a question mark for people probably.
Right.
Like, outside of that, like, they don't have any big cap obligations currently, like, that they have to lock in. So,
with
like,
the way
our reset is crazy.
Well, with the way our potential looks at the pass rushing duties, we're probably gonna sit on our hands with Phillips and make him test the market.
He probably will.
Because for whatever reason, if we don't want to give him the money for injury concerns, then we're gonna make sure that nobody else does either.
Right.
I'm a big JT fan.
I don't know if I would pay Phillips personally.
Well, if we let him test the market and nobody pays him, we don't have to
bring him back.
We don't have to give him the bag, right?
Yeah.
We'll give him something that looks like the bag, so he's happy, but it's not really going to be the bag.
I expect it to be some kind of maybe like a franchise tender or something. They try to trade him in that situation or something, but yeah, I'm curious. He's one of the like biggest question marks for next season.
Yeah, and again, the only way to answer that question is to find out what other teams think about his injury proneness.
Yeah.
So I suspect we're going to sit on our hands and do the franchise tagging thing until we absolutely.
Or he gets hurt again this year, and then they're probably just going to straight cut bait. I would imagine. But
right?
Yeah,
he could even get cut out. He could even get cut outright.
No, we can't do that. He's a hurricane.
I know. But hey, Lynn Bowden got cut.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Crypto, we got fake hurricanes, man. Ones that went to UCLA first or wherever he went.
It's forbidden. It's against the law. It's against the Constitution to cut a cane.
Mm.
And Color, that's been passed. That's the 29th Amendment. Nobody tell you about. Thou shalt not cut a cane.
Thou shalt not screw over a hurricane.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what happens though? I mean, when you disrespect hurricanes like that.
Yeah.
Chicago decides they'll win a World Series for the first time in 108 years.
Yep. Yep. Chicago.
If you don't want
winning World Series.
You don't want that hurricane garbage. If you don't want that hurricane garbage, the Chicago Cubs would be much obliged to take it and win a championship with it.
Yep.
Roberto, you might be unfamiliar with what I'm referencing. The perennial 300 hitter outfielder. I don't know if he was drafted or picked up. I think he was drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. Instrumental in their World Series championship in 2011. Gets traded to the Padres because the fans have no respect for him, and neither did the organization. He muddles around in San Diego for a couple years and then gets picked up by none other than the Chicago Cubs, who then proceed to win their first World Series in 108 years, bro.
Yep.
Because John Jay, a Hurricane, was on their team.
I remember when the Hurricanes used to have the best baseball team every year.
I would say, I would estimate that 80% of the championship teams in any sport for the past 40 years have at least one Hurricane on their squad.
That's an interesting.
I would like to look at the roster for all 6 Super Bowl wins for the Patriots, and I bet you 5 of those rosters have a Hurricane on them.
That's a good point. Wasn't didn't
Wolford was definitely, yeah, he's definitely
Wolford was on One on Money.
Yep. Hall of Fame, Vince Wilfork.
Yeah. 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 There you go. Yeah, it wouldn't have been possible for the Patriots dynasty unless they had a Kane somewhere on that roster.
I mean, the Ravens, same.
The Ravens, yeah.
Ed Reed. Yeah.
Yep.
And Ray Lewis. Both of them.
Ray Lewis, yep. Yeah.
Pretty sure wasn't Santana with Pittsburgh when they won with the bus?
Santana Moss.
Wasn't he a Steeler when they won that championship?
Not sure.
I know not Stewart, the other guy receiver was there. I think Mike Wallace was there one year, but he wasn't on the roster.
No, it was Hines Ward and Plaxico Burress. Is the last one I remember.
Plaxico was the
Hurricanes. I'm trying to think of Hurricanes.
Yeah. Plaxico. No, it was Santana Moss was with the Skins and Jets, wasn't he? But he did get traded around.
I thought Santana was with the Raiders at one point, wasn't he?
He may have played with them too. He became a journeyman after his stint with the before the Jets. Yeah. I want to say Dave went to school with him. I think Dave said he went to school with him or the same school.
You might be thinking Santonio Holmes.
Antonio Holmes. Yeah, he was a Steeler.
Yeah, he was on that team. So I'm saying Color might be confusing him with Moss.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the Steelers quarterback was from another university of Miami in Ohio.
Yeah, right. There you go. Exactly. The Big Ben, right?
Oh, you know who was on that Steelers team actually? That is a Kane. Is Najee Davenport was on the team.
Yeah.
Najee Davenport, yeah.
So the quick response from AI: several players who played for Miami Hurricanes have also played for the Steelers, including former defensive end Quincy Roche in 2021, linebacker Sean Spence in 2012, Leon Searcy in 92, and linebacker Anthony Chiquillo in 2015.
And remember, Dallas Dynasty had none other than Michael Irvin on there.
Yep. Michael Irvin. Yep.
Prominent Kane.
I think maybe the 49ers might have been able to do it without a Hurricane, but we'd have to check their roster from back then. We don't know.
Yeah, we got to check their roster from that time period. We know the Cowboys had a bunch of Canes on their team. The head coach, Jimmy Johnson, was a Hurricane.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Bills lost 4 Super Bowls with Kane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now they also had another Kane, big time Kane. Wasn't that Cornelius Bennett? I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cornelius Bennett was in with them on that run. Yeah. I want to say, what's his name? He was in Boston College. I'm mixing them up. He was a Boston College guy.
Who?
Flutie.
Oh yeah. He's the one that beat the Hurricanes. So there you go. I mean, you beat the Hurricanes.
Yeah, the Hail
That's
Mary.
just as good as being a Hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Boston College. Yeah, it was. Yeah. There's a lot of them. The Colts had some Hurricanes on their teams with
Yeah, Edwin James.
they had some Hurricanes. Edwin James.
Oh yeah,
they had
and
some
what's his
Hurricanes.
name? What's his
The
name? The wide
receiver.
receiver.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison.
No, the other one.
Reggie
you
Wayne.
talking about Wayne?
Reggie Wayne. Yeah,
Wayne.
one of the most underrated and unsung wide receivers to play the game. That
To play
Reggie
the game.
Wayne was a star, man. That dude
Yep.
was.
Yep, Reggie
serious.
Wayne. So that team, those Super Bowl Colt teams had nothing Hurricanes on them. Yeah. You got the Colts, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Ravens. Hell, didn't the Rams have one doing
Yes, they had Orlando. Was it Orlando Pace?
Pace, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, Pace was a Kane?
I believe so. Hold on.
They had a Kane. Yeah, I'm thinking about all the teams that won the championship always since the 90s.
No, Orlando Pace went to Ohio State.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't think it was a Kane.
Oh, okay.
97 draft.
2019.
St. Louis. Let's see. 97 St. Louis. I don't want just 97. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil.
They were 5-11 that year. Let's see. The first year they went 13-3 with Dick Vermeil in 99. That was when they got everything. That was the first year of the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, the 99. They played the Titans, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Is it this guy? No, he's from Texas A&M.
Wasn't Dyson when they came, wasn't?
I don't believe so. Hold on, I'm looking right now to see where Rams statistics, roster, and players. Here we go. I can't believe I forgot about this guy. Oh no, not him. Isaac Bruce did not go to the University of Miami, but he did go to high school at Dillard in Florida.
Okay, close enough.
He's a Floridian.
The influence.
Let's see. I wish they would put their college right on the list so I didn't have to. Oh, they do. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Ron Carpenter, defensive back. Oh, no, he's from Miami of Ohio. Never mind. Let's see. Derek Harris, running back. Derek Harris, running back, Miami. There you go. Greatest show on turf.
There you go.
Rick
Gotta
Tootin.
have him in the locker room.
Crypto, the punter, Rick Tootin.
Rick Tootin was on that team?
Yeah, played for Florida State and the University of Miami. What a traitor.
Man.
Seriously, how do you end up at those two schools of all the schools?
I'm telling you, bro.
That's crazy. Crazy work.
Well, and you also let's go to Florida now. You had Amp Lee. Remember Amp Lee, the running back? Yeah, he's from Florida State.
Yeah. Wow. Good old Amp Lee.
Amp Lee. I can't believe we never talk about him, dude.
Yeah, he's like the most forgotten about player in history.
And you have that's because Marshall
Marshall
Falk
Faulk.
came in, and then Steven Jackson came in and just destroyed the record book for them. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Carter played for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Bush Sr. played for Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Now let's see the next year, because I don't know if they won. Wait, that year they won. Yes, they won Super Bowl 23-16 over the Titans.
The 1 yard line game.
They lost the wild card the next year with Mike Martz.
Mike Martz, yeah.
And they lost to the Patriots in 2001. So let's see what their roster was.
Was Mike Martz the coach, or was it Vermeil?
Mike Martz was already the coach when they're lost to the Patriots. Damian Lewis, defensive tackle from the Hurricanes.
Yep.
And that's it. See, that's why the Patriots beat them. They didn't have enough Hurricanes on their squad.
Yeah, you go.
Huh.
Yeah.
So they never won it with Mike Martz. They only won the greatest show on turf is only with Dick Vermeil. They didn't win the Super Bowl with Mike Martz.
So he came in after that, right?
Yeah.
After Vermeil left?
They didn't get back to the Super Bowl until 2 seasons later. They had a mediocre season in between Dick Vermeil's last season and Mike Martz's Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wow! So they fired
never won, and they never got back to the Super Bowl after losing to the Patriots. Why do we call that the greatest show on turf? It's Dick Vermeil's team that was the greatest show on turf. What's up, Grumpy?
Yeah, that's true. So wait a minute. Do you mean to tell me they fired a Super Bowl winning coach?
Oh yeah. No, I think he retired, bro. He was really ancient by then. Because remember, he coached the original Los Angeles Rams too.
He was definitely ancient.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because
he followed them to St. Louis.
I remember the nickname. I remember he got the nickname the Onion because he was always crying. His nickname was the Onion, Dick the Onion Vermeil. Damn. I was like, man, why is he crying at the podium? He can at least wait till you get off camera.
Dick the Meal. Yeah, Dick the Meal.
Oh, man.
Dick Cornmeal.
Yeah.
It does sound like some kind of like cornmeal mash or something. Like
like the in between cornmeal and
right. No, you know what it is, Crypto? It's cornmeal mixed with ground veal. It's vermeil.
Yeah. This one's made out of almond flour instead.
It's that corned beef hash made out of veal instead of adult beef. You know what I mean? It's vermeil.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It does sound like it could be some kind of brand of something too, like vermeil cabbage or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe a brand of coffee. Hey, did you try that dark roast vermeil?
Dark roast vermeil.
Hey, help us out. Is there a wine? Is there a wine? Have you tried that vermeil noir?
Shake's gonna tell us what kind of meal I can eat with it, with this special vermeil alcohol. You can say what goes well.
That's what it is when you have vermouth with your dinner. That's called a vermeil.
Yeah. You have the moose. Have some mousse with it. Oh yeah.
Wait, Jordan Poyer say he's keeping receipts of the 2024 Dolphins? Seriously?
Oh, look at that. The irony. Shake says Dick Vermeil actually has a winery.
He does? Oh.
Yeah. Vermeil wines, like Vermeil, what do you call
man.
a wine place? Not a distillery, like a
Talking about the
vineyard.
cellar?
Yeah,
Vineyard,
Vermeil vineyards, right?
Vineyards, okay. Yeah.
The vineyards of Vermeil.
The vineyards of Vermeil, the Vermeil Vineyard. Yeah. The Vermeil Vineyard. Oh yeah.
Vermeil wines and spirits. The Vermeil wineries. Don't you? Have you ever been to the Vermeil wineries?
I know.
They're top notch, man.
Yep. Top level. Oh man.
Anyway, so everybody, appreciate you joining us this afternoon to talk about the culture change in Miami.
Yep.
And the weird stuff that Chris Grier's been putting out. What's up, Mudbone? I see you too.
All right.
Yeah, so everybody have a great afternoon/evening. It's Friday. We got Shake coming up, I think, with the drive time. I don't know. Let me check the schedule.
Yeah, drive time this evening.
Today, yeah.
I think
right.
Yeah,
I thought it was still on hiatus.
Is it this weekend?
August. Yep. September 5th is the next showing of Drive.
That's the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
So this week is.
But you never know. We might fire it up later anyway. More people will be ready to talk after work and all that. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what Cap wants to do.
Okay.
He just got rolled in, I guess, home. So he's got a bunch of stuff to take care of.
This weekend is probably when everyone's drafting fantasy football.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Holiday weekend.
I know Ms. Finn's just started her league. She did her league show or league starting show the other morning.
Yeah, I'm about to join it. Oh yeah, by the way, I got the pick'ems started. I'll send everybody the chat.
Okay.
So actually, it's anybody that's still listening, you can just go to the Yahoo Fantasy, go to the pick'em section. It's called Crypto's Pick'em is the name of the group, and then the password to get in is crypto, all small caps.
All right.
Yep. So that's the name of the group. It's the same name as the.
And I heard the winner gets a whole crypto, a whole Bitcoin.
A whole Bitcoin for the prize.
A whole Bitcoin. Yeah.
That's a high stakes league.
So nice. There's definitely high stakes there. Yeah.
The problem is you got to buy in with half a Bitcoin.
You got to buy in with half. Exactly. Half a Bitcoin buy-in. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you hadn't heard, I forgot the guy's name already. Ryan Crow, Dolphins outside linebackers coach, been arrested for domestic battery.
Oh, there's Grumpy. Yeah, Grumpy, I got some extra light bulbs, man. Ready to roll. Got some light bulbs for you, Grumpy.
We here at the Tailgate will bring you any news regarding that may come up this weekend, as well as any other news as we get started for the start of the next week. The season starts next week. It's high time, high noon. Well, if you're in the central time zone, where we will be facing the Indianapolis Colts. So starting Monday here at the Tailgate, we'll be getting pregame. We'll be getting game week stuff going on. Start of the season starts Monday. Canes are playing Sunday night, and that should be a nice slobber knocker. Go Canes. Everybody have a great afternoon, great evening, and I appreciate you coming by. Keep your fins up. That's all we have left.
Have a good one. Appreciate
Yep.
you.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Crypto. Appreciate y'all. Roberto, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to misname you.
It's all good.
Oh, we were. It reminds me of that meme going around that I showed the guys backstage the other night with the guy talking about how news people at CNN like virtue signal and try to pronounce everybody's name. Like if they're like Latin names, they'll bust out, they'll code switch and bust out the Latin accent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the guy was saying, you don't ever see me, he's like, I'm Irish. You don't ever see me go, oh, police are chasing the suspect, Charlie McLaughlin. But I think it fell flat though. You know what I mean? It was just making fun of CNN for virtue signaling. They don't actually really care about people's feelings.
No.
They don't care one way or another whether you care how they pronounce your name.
They just want you watching.
But
Regardless.
if I were to say it properly, it would be Roberto Valdez.
Yep.
See, I can do it too. Anyway, have a great evening, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Stay safe and fins up. Oh, I gotta set the solo. I gotta set the out video. Where's the out video? Right here. Goodbye, everybody.